The South won the toss and deferred. They did not take the wind. I find that stunning because this wind is gusting. It's got to be in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. So the North will have the wind as Chris Brown approaches for the opening kick. 75 degrees, that's no problem, but the wind and the rain are. And after it was just intermittent misting for about the 2 hours or so leading up to the kick, it has been a steady downpour for about the last 15 minutes or so.
Dave, everybody's in a state of shock, probably including the coaches, so I don't know if they've figured out what decision they made.
Now underway, and the kick by Nebraska's Chris Brown, not surprisingly, with that gale behind him, is not going to be returned. And we'll look at the South All-Star starting lineup today, and Kansas State's Michael Bishop is the quarterback, Wisconsin fullback Cecil Martin, and the Heisman winner Ricky Williams of Texas, with Mike Griebe of UCLA, Jeremy McDaniel of Arizona, and Williams' Texas teammate Wayne McGarity, the receivers. Up front, Camacho, Rainville, Thomasy, Adams, and Chris Comstock set to go for the South from their 20-yard line. Into the wind, Bill. How much does that affect whether and how much to pass?
It will have a big effect on anything deep. Short passes shouldn't be too much effect.
Ricky Williams, 30-35 and out of bounds with about a 19-yard gain. They'll mark him at the 38 on the first play from scrimmage.
Eric Thigpen, number 21 from Iowa, made the hit. You can see very quickly that Ricky Williams is not only not affected by the wind, but that he handles this turf extremely well. Great players run over the balls of their feet. Very important. You watch people like Ricky Williams, he runs well on any kind of track.
18 yards on the first play for Ricky Williams. Short toss is incomplete. This one intended for Jeremy McDaniel, the wideout from Arizona. Defensive unit for the North All-Stars will line up this way. Rectorfield, Fisher, Talamavao, and Megna are the front four. The linebackers, you have to play a 4-3. Ledyard, Sword, and Williams, all from the Big Ten. And the secondary for the North, McCalla of Rice, Day of Cal State Northridge, Sori Canoe of Michigan State, Benny Gilbo at the other safety. Williams breaking tackles and good for about 8 more yards to the 46. It'll be 3rd and 1. And the numbers in the Heisman Trophy campaign for Ricky Williams, first 2,000-yard rusher in Texas history.
This is a counter. Good job here by Ricky Williams, taking on Sam Sword, who's a real load himself, number 93. You just don't see people run over Sam Sword very often.
Williams needing one. With the second effort, will have it, and a couple to spare at midfield.
You've seen his power, you've seen his speed. Now you've seen his balance and his determination. You don't have to wonder very long why these great players turn out as they do. It's not just natural gifts. And watching the South squad practice this week, Ricky Williams, Dave, ran out every play 50 yards. I've never seen a great back that doesn't do that.
Denvis Manns from New Mexico State replacing Williams, who's carried it 3 times already for 30 yards. Michael Bishop can throw it pretty well himself, and he has a first down for the South inside the 40-yard line for Ricky Williams, who made the decision to come back to experience exactly what he had in the memorable day against Oklahoma, where he took Doak Walker's number 37 at the Cotton Bowl, the house that Doak built. And then the record setter against Texas A&M, the 60-yard score that took him past Tony Dorsett as the all-time leading rusher in Division 1A history, all the way to New York for the Heisman. Williams with markers down to pick up to the 36. Offsides against the defense.
A lot of little things in games like this that the coaches don't really have a chance to work on.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Seems like a simple thing to line up onside, but you'd be amazed at how often this happens early in an all-star game. Good news for the South thus far. Good center quarterback exchanges between Thomasy and Bishop. That can be a major issue. Centers and quarterbacks that aren't accustomed to working together get a wet ball. Not only a wet ball, but in this mud and grass can be a slick ball. There are even centipedes down there, David. I saw some yesterday. My wife, Carolyn, discovered one the hard way on her foot.
She was introduced in a not too pleasant way. So first down, and Bishop from the shotgun. Swing pass is caught ankle high by Williams. And a pickup of about 5 yards. Let's send it down to a still damp Chris Fowler.
Oh, I don't think damp's the word for it, Dave. Watch Ricky Williams get a lot of work here. He played in the Cotton Bowl 6 or 7 pounds heavier than in the regular season, but that didn't seem to hurt. Ricky found he could play well heavy, and Mississippi State found out what a load he is. Look at him run over defensive backs for the Bulldogs. 3 separate defensive backs from Mississippi State were knocked out of the game with concussions trying to tackle Ricky Williams. Watch this. Stiff arms the DB, knees him in the head, and just walks over him into the end zone. A couple of guys on the sidelines here just discovering. They come up to me and said, hey, Ricky's a load. Well, fellas, the rest of the country's known that.
Not exactly a headline, is it? Michael Bishop looked deep, had to keep it, and run out of bounds at the 26-yard line by Ed Keel.
An early impression on Bishop. Everybody knows he has great mobility. He's a great leader, and he's a winner. A record of 46-3 in his 4 years of college at a junior college and at Kansas State. What the pro scouts are looking for is for him to be able to set up and throw on rhythm and to deliver the ball. Whether the receiver times it up properly after a week like this is not as important as him showing he can do that.
Tailback with the carry is Kelvin Efon, another former Arizona Wildcat. On the 2nd and 7 play, he's good for about a yard or 2.
Yeah, not only is he a Wildcat, he's a double Wildcat. He went to Arizona on a basketball scholarship, and I don't know how Lute Olson let him get away. He had 2 basketball letters and then became a great short yardage runner for Dick Tomey and the Wildcats. Good balance, good power.
So the South shuttling tailbacks, and Martin and Efon are split this time on a 3rd and 7 behind Bishop, who gets it off incomplete along the sideline, intended for Jeremy McDaniel, and it'll be 4th down.
Number 55, Mark Megna of Richmond. Lloyd Carr calls him a special player, and Lloyd is not a guy who passes out a lot of idle praise. Megna had a great career at Richmond, playing in the 1AA level. Had 292 tackles, 48 tackles for losses, 32 sacks in his career. That is not easy to do for a defensive lineman. Those are linebacker numbers.
Into the wind, going to go for it on 4th and 7. And on a quarterback draw, it is Bishop weaving toward the 20, broke a couple of tackles and leans forward. He'll be close for the 1st down, but there is a penalty flag down, thrown back in the South backfield.
A well-known attribute, defense offsides. Michael Bishop's ability to move. Good job here setting up his blockers. Good block by Thomas C., the center from LSU. A missed tackle by Park Williams. And Bishop dragging people to get very close to the 1st down. But they'll take the penalty, I'm sure.
Penalty is refused. Result of the play, 1st down.
Did not appear that he had made the 1st down, so I thought they would take the penalty. Clearly he did make it, so they refused the penalty. But I'm going to say again for the 3rd time, what Bishop has to show in this game, or at some point at the combine or in workouts, is that he can set up and throw on rhythm. He has a fine arm.
Cecil Martin, the fullback, on 1st down for a couple. You may say, what's a Wisconsin Badger doing on the South All-Stars? Well, for balance sake, there are some Southern players who are also on the North All-Stars, and so you got Cecil in the white jersey.
Well, Cecil and Mike Samuel are from Southern Wisconsin. So
That's
they're
it.
on the South squad. That must be what it is.
Easily explained.
Cecil's a great human being. He's been a team leader there. He's been on the All Good Works team, the American Football Coaches Association, the last 2 years. Everybody on that Wisconsin squad says he's the main man in leadership for their great season last year.
Bishop, another 3-step drop, and dropped by his tight end, and wide open was Mike Grebe of UCLA.
And the last thing that I thought we'd see here is a drop ball by Mike Grebe, number 88, the tight end from UCLA, who had such a marvelous game in their tough loss. Nice drop by Bishop, threw a little bit off his back foot, but the throw was perfect with a wet ball.
Third down. This is the 13th play of the opening drive for the South. And coming from the 17-yard line, Bishop well protected and over the middle, almost intercepted. Incomplete in the end zone, and it was Iowa's Eric Thigpen, the safety, who had a diving try at the pick.
Bishop has nice feet, good setup here. What he does not do is follow through, and especially with a wet ball, you've got to step forward, bring your body thrust through. So the ball got away from him a little bit. Probably should have been picked by Thigpen.
Jeff Hall is on to try a 34-yarder and into this win. This is going to feel more like about a 54-yarder. He hangs it up high but missed it, and we remain scoreless. He can't wait till he's got that Gale behind him. He was kicking 80-yarders in warm-ups. We're still scoreless at now.
Our girls earn their wings every day.
Hooters, it's not just a restaurant, it's an adventure.
Was it my imagination? Or did I walk on the moon? Did I dance with ancient spirits? The sound of your name. Did I hear whales singing?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Hooters Hula Bowl is presented by Hooters Restaurants, delightfully tacky yet unrefined, and in part by Ford Taurus, Ford, built to last.
Look at the boats off the Wailea coast in calmer conditions than greeted our Hula Bowl kickoff today. Nothing, long drive, keyed by some nice runs by Ricky Williams, ending in the missed field goal by Jeff Hall, and now the North takes over behind Missouri's Corby Jones at quarterback from their 20-yard line. And the first carry is from Joe Montgomery of Ohio State. We'll check the North All-Star starters on the offensive unit. With Jones, Brian Edwards is the fullback. We'll see Montgomery. We'll also see Clarence Williams at tailback. The receiving core, Kuykendall, Jones, and Baker. And up front doing the blocking for the North, Mindrup, Nord, Heskew, Hobson, and Wong. Gain of 2 for Montgomery. Corby Jones, great option quarterback at Missouri, decides to keep here for a gain of maybe another yard of the 23. We'll check the South defensive all-stars: Sawyer, Fainu'ulele, Fiafia, and Weaver. And I think I got both of those, Bill. Holden, Ruff, and Ogle. And in the secondary, McAllister, Brown, Thompson, and Cook. Not quite the challenge of our Hawaiian front line people.
I'm so proud of you, David.
All-America Chris McAllister headed toward an expected selection in the first round. Give us to Montgomery, who tries left tackle, hit quickly for a loss back to the 20.
One thing we should mention, with people like Joe Montgomery, who hopes to come in here and really prove himself and take a step up in the draft, He needs a little help from his friends. Those big guys up front are not getting much movement. The defense really keyed by Fainu Ulele. Doing a good job. Kolu is what he was called at UT Chattanooga. They just settled for his first name, and he said that was fine.
I think we should settle for his first name. Aaron Langley, with that huge win behind him, booms one that Sia Burley takes back at the 15-yard line. Dante Culpepper's favorite target at Central Florida. Down at the 18, that's a 61-yard punt, and there's probably more where that came from when the wind is at the kickers' backs today.
Don't worry. I won't be long.
Oh, okay.
Psst. Hey, buddy. Over here in petites.
Whoa. Have a Bud Light. This is awesome.
Yeah, we love shopping.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Touchdown!
Let me tell you about the best traffic report in town, brought to you by QXRT's Barb and Bill.
Woo! It's a scorcher out there, and I hope none of you are trying to get anywhere soon. From up here, it looks like a little backup heading downtown.
These guys have the ultimate view.
This is Barb and Bill, the QXRT traffic team, signing out. Once again, our Explorer saves the day.
Yeah, glad we're not down in that mess.
And just think of the money they saved on a helicopter. The new Ford Explorer, built Ford tough.
Bumper-to-bumper traffic? Anyone? Change the oil. Endless construction? Scooter. Scooter. Change the oil. High cholesterol? Change the oil. Every driving adventure is an opportunity to win one of 100,000 prizes found hidden under the caps. Specially marked Pennzoil motor oil. Trips to ESPN sporting events, the ESPYs, merchandise from Pennzoil and ESPN can be yours if we change the oil. He twists, he turns, he scores.
Well, a few breaks in the sky above Maui. Reason to hope we might get drier conditions as the Hula Bowl rolls on. South second possession. They take over at the 18-yard line, and Ricky Williams met head-on at the line of scrimmage by Bobby Howard, the linebacker out of Notre Dame.
Bobby's one of those guys with the right kind of center of gravity. He's 5'10", 232 pounds, and he stepped up, and that was as good a tackle as you'll ever see on Ricky Williams. Very seldom do you see Ricky go backward after he's met at the line of scrimmage. At this time, of course, there was a little help. Courtney Ledyard's there, number 53 from Michigan State. Good job by the defense that time.
Howard's numbers in his career at South Bend. That's officially no gain for Williams in second down and 10. Troy Smith wide right. Sia Burley is wide left, and after play fake, Bishop's pass batted down, and he catches it at the 12-yard line. He got his own pass. There is a marker down. Brad Scioli knocked it right back at Bishop.
Another thing that Michael Bishop's going to have to work on, he's moved out of the pocket here. He pump fakes, and his delivery is going to be lower than his shoulder. If he can bring it up over just a little higher, and again, I know we're coaching Michael an awful lot, but I'm just trying to show you what the pro scouts look for when they evaluate a quarterback. This young man is a great player, a great leader, and a winner. There are some technical things to go with his strong arm that he's going to be working on here the next few months. And I know he wants to play quarterback. He's made that very clear.
Offsides was the call against the North. 2nd and 5 from the 23. And it's Williams, right side, spins forward after contact, and he'll have the 31-yard line and a first down with Bryce Fisher of Air Force finally bringing him down. Mike Price of Washington State. This is coaching rematch between Lloyd Carr and Mike Price, of course, who squared off after the '97 season in the Rose Bowl, in which Lloyd Carr won the national championship for Michigan.
Yeah, but neither one of their faces looked like they did that week. I asked him about that. Where's your game face, Lloyd? Said, I don't need it right now.
Game face is not part of the baggage they bring over to this one. Bishop, and the catch by Troy Smith of East Carolina. at the 35-yard line. Don Morgan of Nevada had the coverage on Smith.
This offensive line's doing a nice job. David Camacho, the left tackle, number 75, is lined up here. Watch him move his feet. He sets up just the way a good tackle does, keeps his shoulders square. Look at those hands come out. Good job of pass protection against Brad Scioli, number 95 from Penn State.
Second down toss. Denvis Mans of New Mexico State. And he is slung down near the 40, just shy of it. Let's check in with Chris Fowler.
Well, this game features one of the great clutch kickers in the country, Tennessee's Jeff Hall. You recall the opener for the Volunteers. They drive down the field, a game-winning field goal at Syracuse. Got the ball rolling for the national championship season. Nice conditions in the dome, nice chip shot kick. And then against Florida in overtime, boots the game winner. As his Gators counterpart misses the field goal, Tennessee 13-0 in the national championship. And Jeff, you missed the field goal here. Have you ever kicked in conditions like this before?
Never. You know, the Nebraska game we played in the Orange Bowl a year ago was pretty tough, and it was kind of windy, but nothing like this. We're right next to the ocean, and it rained a little bit and got some wind, so this is tough.
You told me you aimed right and missed it left.
Yeah, it was tough. That's the first time I've ever done that, and yeah, I aimed towards the right upright, and then I missed it left, so that was something I'll remember for a while.
A lot of folks who have played golf in the state of Hawaii can identify with that. Dave?
Well, Ricky Williams dropped for a loss, and we've seen that happen twice, and normally you could see a month or two go by without Ricky Williams hit behind the line of scrimmage, and so that'll bring up Jason Bloom to punt it into this wind. And he tried, I think, to bore it as low as he could. He got a great bounce. This will go all the way back to the 21-yard line. That's about as well as you could do. 42 yards by Jason Bloom. We're scoreless in the first quarter of the Hula Bowl in Maui.
Let's get going. Okay, there is no time to lose. Subscribers are waiting. We have to send out these official ESPN the Magazine duffel bags ASAP. Right, buddy?
Oh, ESPN the Magazine duffel bag. All right.
Subscribe now to ESPN the Magazine and get your sports the way it ought to be. Big and bold with unbelievable photos, honest interviews, previews, and predictions. The teams to beat and the players to watch.
Ralph, I'm begging you, man.
Wally,
help me.
Believe we're giving these away for free?
Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. That's 66% off the newsstand price. And with your paid subscription, you'll get your own ESPN the Magazine duffel bag. Absolutely free.
I wonder what lucky new subscriber is going to get this one, huh?
No subscriber is going to get that one unless you put it in a box.
Call now, 1-800-540-1155.
Headed toward Lahaina, you will pass the Maui Tropical Plantation. And some of the delightful sights here off the Valley Isle. 0-0, 4 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the first quarter of the Hula Bowl. The North set to take over at their 21-yard line. South has had the ball for 21 of the 24 snaps so far. First time Corby Jones was out, it was a quick 3-and-out for the North. He pumps and hangs one up deep, and it is caught at midfield by Daniel Jones of Utah, who finally comes out at the 46-yard line. Jones to Jones, good for 33.
Actually, the coverage was pretty good. Very nice execution. Nice pump fake by Corby Jones. Corby Jones is another great quarterback who's working to up his stock in the draft as a QB. Prelo is in coverage there. He does a good job himself, but does not locate the ball. Excellent concentration. Watch the catch. Daniel Jones, number 80 from Utah, shows why he deserves to be in this game.
Corby Jones rolling away for some pressure, keeping And he'll get about 5 yards, 42-yard line. Corby Jones going out in style, Bill, at the Insight.com Bowl, engineering the Missouri victory over West Virginia.
He was a dominant player in that game, running the Missouri offense to near perfection, which included the option quarterback draws, and he threw the ball extremely well. Corby has set an example for every young student athlete in this country in his career. The way he handled personal adversity with the loss of his dad last year, who was a coach on the staff, he set the pace for that Missouri squad.
He got 4. Second down and 6. Clarence Williams of Michigan playing for his head coach Lloyd Carr, and he plows to the 38. Williams part of a deep stable of backs for the Wolverines. Steven Gonzalez of Hawaii, outside linebacker, made the tackle, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Steven said he's wanted to play in this game all his life, and all he wanted to do was go gonzo in the game. What does that mean, David?
Go gonzo?
Yeah.
All-out effort. That's your 110% in coach speak.
He was so excited. Lloyd said Clarence Williams, 33, is so excited to be in the game. He's afraid he's going to vibrate off the charts before he started.
Rain has reappeared at War Memorial Stadium, where it's 3rd and 2, and a huge hole off the left side for Jerry Azuma, who easily has the first down to the 26-yard line. Out of New Hampshire, Azuma picks up 12 yards.
Nice job of blocking here. This is not easy to coordinate this sort of thing by the offensive line. Good job pulling, turning up in there. Number 70, Joe Wong, another local man. He got a big cheer in the early going. Azuma shows why he's the Walter Payton Award winner for Division I AA football. Surprising quickness. I thought that in practice just watching him.
Ricky Williams is not the only back who passed Tony Dorsett this year. Azuma did as well. In 1 AA. Williams to the 16, gang tackled finally. The first contact from Texas A&M linebacker Warwick Holman.
Warwick Holman, number 43, was all Big 12 this year. But you'll notice these low-built backs. Clarence Williams, maybe 5'9", 5'8.5", run with their balance properly distributed over the balls of their feet. They're tough to tackle.
Those formations are limited in this all-star format, as are defensive tactics and their markers as Jones brings them to the line. No blitzing, no stunts on the defensive line, no 4 wide receiver sets, no option.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd out.
Which keeps the spotlight on the players and not so much on the strategy of the coaches.
Well, I think so. You have to keep the tight end of the field. You've got to have 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 tight end in the game, so you can't do a lot with formations to create confusion. But you are allowed some trick plays, and there are some trick plays that we may just see here before long. I guess we better not reveal them.
Format like this made for trick plays. 2nd and 6. Jones on the straight drop, floating one for Daniel Jones, and did he hang on to the end zone? Yes, touchdown. What an amazing catch by Daniel Jones. 22 yards for the first points for the North.
Really nice job again. You got to really tip your hat to Corby Jones, who sets his feet, delivers the football so that only his receiver has a chance to catch it. Here's Jones again, a perfectly thrown pass. Either he's going to catch it or nobody's going to catch it. Prelo's actually in good shape again, but not good enough to prevent the catch.
Well, that's the way that drive started for the North. 2 completions by Corby Jones. They were both to Daniel Jones for a total of 55 yards. First team all-WAC selection for the Utes. Chris Brown of Nebraska out of the hold of Aaron Langley for the extra point. And a 7-0 lead.
And a surprisingly error-free game in the area of handling the football. Center quarterback exchanges have been good, and now we're seeing some outstanding catches, especially by Jones, number 80 from Utah. Throwing and catching, good step-up follow-through by Corby Jones. and the first touchdown of this contest.
Well, the North with the wind at their backs, unable to move on their first possession, a 3 and out, but they march smartly down the field the second time they have it. And the Jones to Jones connection, victimizing again Pearson Frelo of Virginia Tech for the early lead.
Pearson's got to be wondering what I got to do to keep this guy from catching. I'm running stride for stride with him. Pearson has a 43-inch vertical jump, but neither time was he able to anticipate or see the ball enough to use his athletic ability. Pearson, you keep covering like that, you'll be just fine, young man.
Well, windy as it is, Chris Brown is going to get an assist from Eric Thigpen, who will hold for this ensuing kickoff. Tell you what, it will be shocking if anything is returned on the left to right kick today, and this one will be. Kept it low, wind didn't get behind it. Sia Burley going to take this one back a long way. Burley to the 45-yard line, where Thigpen cut him down after a return that began at the goal line. ESPN and ESPN2 will be the source for all the happenings at the Super Bowl. Following the game, SportsCenter begins nightly coverage from Miami as the Atlanta Falcons and Denver Broncos prepare for the big event. Nightly interviews on ESPN's Up Close, nightly analysis and breakdowns on the NFL Tonight, plus Super Bowl editions of the award-winning NFL Countdown, as well as NFL Primetime. It all begins after the Hula Bowl, only on ESPN and ESPN2. And for more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, go.com. Ifon on the carry for the South, knocked out right at midfield. And let's check in again with Chris.
Daniel Jones of Utah, you were kind of the other wide receiver with Kevin Dyson, of course the first-round draft pick last year, injured a couple games this year, and this is a chance to show what you can do.
Yeah, right. I mean, I worked out with Kevin Dyson a little bit before I came to the All-Star game, you know, so he went to the league and learned a little bit, and he came back and showed me a little bit before the All-Star game. And I came out here and used it, and it's working, you know, so.
He showed you how to catch wet footballs?
Nah, that's something I learned how to do myself. I ain't never really played in the rain like this, but, you know, I'm just holding on, trying to hold on to the ball. That's the most important thing.
One of the many receivers trying to make a name for himself in this game, guys.
2 catches, 55 yards and a score. Jones, the standout in this first quarter, which has only 36 seconds still to go. And Ricky Williams is not getting his wish. He is not getting to play every single down.
Well, I'm sure there are some people in this world that are happy about that. Not only the other squad, but some folks that are interested in his future.
6 carries, 37 yards for Ricky. Flag on early movement by the North. Great job by Bishop to get that one off for Ifon, and with the reach, he will have first down yardage to the 44. He stops the clock at 9 seconds.
Inoki Brechtfield, number 56, who's another local player who played at Oregon State, the most productive player on defense in the history of Oregon State, jumped off sides right there. And if that's enough for a first down, then they won't need the play. Or rather, they'll probably take the play.
Offside on the defense. The penalty is refused. The result of the play is a first down.
So Ifon got the job done with his basketball reach off the fast break. He got that thing past the yard marker, David.
6th penalty of this first quarter, which will expire with the North All-Stars on top 7-0.
That's the end.
The 53rd annual Hula Bowl in Maui, Hawaii. And Daniel Jones from Corby Jones producing the only score. The first quarter is 7-0.
was going through this intersection. What? No, this guy came out of nowhere, and I swear to avoid him.
Slow down. Are you all right?
What happened?
Dad, I'm really sorry about the car.
That doesn't matter. That's okay. Don't worry about that.
Your whole life can change in a second. So think about this. Ford Taurus is the only car in its class to earn a 5-star government front crash test rating.
He shook up, but he's fine.
We go more places than any airline in the world. Rising is global.
Izzy, this cold. I'm so stuffed up. Feels like I'm underwater, too. The sneezing and coughing can last all night. My eyes won't shut either. I need NyQuil for relief so I can rest. Because I have plans in the morning. What? I can't say.
With NyQuil, he gets relief, so he'll sleep and wake up to a good morning.
Don't look.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
You know, the wettest spot on Earth is part of the state of Hawaii, but it's not on the island of Maui. It's Mount Waialeale on Kauai. It only seems like we're at the wettest spot on Earth.
Oh, I think we're competing favorably today. I think we may catch up.
Second quarter from War Memorial Stadium will begin with a fake reverse. Ricky Williams keeps it after faking to McDaniel, and he is spilled out of bounds across the 40-yard line by Michigan linebacker Sam Sword. And you're looking at the busiest man in sports, the hardest working man in show business right now has got to be Ricky Williams. He arrived here Wednesday. Next week, he's got a parade in Austin to thank him for his contributions to UT. He'll be at the Super Bowl. A couple days later, the San Diego Hall of Champions dinner in his hometown. He'll be at the ESPY Awards February 15th. The Touchdown Club will award him the Maxwell Award, the Walter Camp Award. He'll go to spring training with the Texas Rangers, who have his baseball rights, having acquired him about a month ago. Rangers owned by UT alum Tom Hicks. McDaniel makes the diving catch at the 36-yard line. So with all that, Ricky Williams will not be able to finish his elementary education degree this semester, but he vows he will get it. May take a while, but he's going to get the sheepskin.
And Mike Samuel is in at the quarterback position, the winningest quarterback in the history of Wisconsin football now. He finished at 27-11. He's one of those guys that doesn't do everything always as gracefully as others, but he wins.
His Badger teammate, Cecil Martin, straight ahead to the 30-yard line.
It's really interesting to see the reaction, not only of the fans, but also the other players. When somebody like Ricky runs into a bench like that, everybody's over there trying to help him up because he is really appreciated. I must say, it has been noticed that he is laying it on the line for this game and for the American Football Coaches Association.
Williams slipping a tackle. Finally, Sword has him after a gain of about 3. And ever since he hit the island, too, he has been blowing and going. He made appearances at local schools. Officials of the school here said that's the quietest assembly they have ever had. He had their rapt attention while he was advising them to stay in school. Worked out pretty well for him.
Worked out well for him, and I was at the practice when they walked him into the gymnasium. It wasn't quiet when he walked in. It was electric. The kids just flipped out, and then they instantly got quiet when it was time for him to talk.
Second down and 7. And not much there for Denvis Manns.
That was your basic mess. The quarterback tripped and fell over the pulling guard, who tripped and fell over into the other guard, which made it a nice, easy thing for Brad Scioli to get in and make the easiest play he's made all day. Lloyd Carr is very impressed with Brad and very happy to see him graduate from the Penn State University. He says he is a great player.
So 3rd and 8. McDaniel is left. Williams, Texas teammate Wayne McGarity is wide right. Samuel looking to the right side for the tight end over there. And Mike Lucky of Arizona makes the catch and is driven out of bounds at the 26. It's going to be well short of the line to gain for the first down, and so Jeff Hall and the field goal unit will come on. Now, unlike the first quarter, Hall will have this wind at his back. And I was not exaggerating. In pregame warm-ups, he was hitting them 80 yards. They weren't going necessarily straight, but he had that much leg with this much wind. This will be a 42-yarder. Jason Bloom, the punter, is the holder. And Hall lines this one right through the middle. So the South scores on their first possession of the second quarter, and they trail the North All-Stars here in Maui 7-3.
The Tax Time Blues. Four- and five-star tax-free bond funds from American Century. Just call. Thank you.
1-800-660-0092.
My dad taught me what it means to be a true fan. What it means to come out and give 110%. Right, Dad? Yeah! I'm more the quiet type. Oh, yeah! Well, the cold doesn't bother me so much. It's the chili dogs. Oh, that's why I bring out the Rolaids.
Rolade starts to neutralize acid in less than 10 seconds, getting you back on your game fast.
It's just like Grandpa always says. You gotta be your best out here.
Rolaids, R-O-L-A-I-D-S, spells relief.
Mom doesn't make it out to the games. I don't know why.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Hooters Hula Bowl is presented by Hooters Restaurants. Delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. And in part by Go.com, a better way to go. Part of the Go Network.
The Iao Valley and the Iao Needle. Side of some important ancient battles in Polynesian history. 7-3. Hall with the kickoff after his 42-yard field goal, and that one almost went straight through the uprights.
He has a phenomenal leg, and he's a phenomenal young man. He's 4 times academic All-SEC. The leading scorer in the history of the Southeastern Conference, 370, I beg your pardon. Yeah, 371 points in his career, all-time leading scorer. Mel Kiper feels like he'll be the second kicker taken in the draft, only after Grammatica.
North takes over from their 20, and a new quarterback, Brian Ayat. After Corby Jones of Missouri went the first 2 possessions. Ayat, a Hawaiian, who played at Montana, sits back in the pocket, floats it incomplete into that wind. Intended for his tight end Kuykendall, down to Chris Fowler.
Sitting next to Ricky Williams here, has gotten a lot of work, and the most nervous guy in the world has to be your agent. The big question is, why play in an All-Star game? You don't have a lot to gain.
Well, the kind of person I am, I like to play, so I'm here to play. I didn't come here to, get rest or get vacation. I came here to play football.
You happy with the workload? You going to be bugging Mike Price to play all game long, even on an off track here?
Yeah, I'm going to play all game long, in and out. That's what I want to do.
We wipe this shield off here, okay? Help you see better. Ricky, great to have you here.
Hey, that shield comes in handy. We could use a shield up here.
We could use several shields.
Joe Montgomery hit for a loss at the 18. Fanu'ulele and Talents Sawyer, left side of the defensive line. Ricky Williams.
Lele, yeah, gets a lot of respect from his home people here.
Ricky Williams' college career began at Hawaii. First regular season game he played as a freshman, a Texas victory at Aloha Stadium against the Rainbows. 1995. Maybe the most remarkable aspect, Bill, of the records he set, the all-time rusher and scorer in Division I-A history. The fact that the first 2 years he was not the featured back. Baltimore Ravens, Priest Holmes, Sean Mitchell, the tailbacks. He did a lot of blocking. And for a fullback, a lot of pass catching out of the backfield those first 2 years. Ayat throws it, intended for Jones, and picked off by Darwin Brown, the defensive back from Texas Tech. South gets a huge takeaway and great position at the 23-yard line.
Brian Ayat is a record-setting passer at Montana, and he knows better than to do this. As he runs to his left, he tries to throw back across his body. That always diminishes what you get on the football. Darwin Brown reads it perfectly. He's a fine cover corner, number 3 from Texas Tech. Good job by Darwin, concentrating on the football. Comes down with the first big turnover in the game.
All Big 12 selection for the Red Raiders. Darwin Brown turns it over to Samuel in the offense at the 23. Samuel with a swing intended for Denvis Manns. Now, the fact that you can't run option, you'd think would really limit the best things that Mike Samuel can bring to this offense.
Well, the Wisconsin staff decided that they really needed to have a way to deal with the 8-man front because of featuring Ron Dane and having a great fullback like Cecil Martin, who's also here today. And their solution was to run the option. So, yeah, Mike has done a lot of that, and the fact that it's not legal today does limit his game somewhat.
He was always just kind of a get-the-job-done passer. Nobody very overwhelmed by his passing stats or motion. Lindy, the fullback from UCLA. And he's going to be close for a first down. Powered his way to the 13-yard line. Ran right over Eric Thigpen.
Yeah, and Lindy's an example of the depth of UCLA. He's not a guy you hear a lot about, but he's a good-looking back. 2 missed tackles. Just keeps bouncing off people. Lindy's yet another of these backs that has low center of gravity and runs with good authority, keeps his weight over the balls of his feet. Power and authority.
Samuel and Walendi, of course, squared off in the Rose Bowl for Wisconsin and UCLA. Denvis Manns has had some hard going, and he's stuck for another loss back at the 20. Bobby Howard of Notre Dame. Rector Field of Oregon State combining on the tackle. A Big West record for his career with New Mexico State, almost 4,700 yards.
And he's one of only 3 backs in the history of college football to run for over 1,000 yards for 4 seasons. Pretty strong company, with Tony Dorsett being one, Amos Lawrence the other, and Denvis the third. So he's the real deal.
2nd and 15, and down to the shotgun, Williams on the draw. Ricky Williams inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And Bryce Fisher of Air Force ends a 13-yard pickup for the Heisman Trophy winner.
Bryce Fisher, the Defensive Player of the Year in the WAC. I just noticed something else about Ricky. He goes down that sideline, and he'd be real easy to step out of bounds. He didn't do that. He turned it up and made the extra yards. He is here. This guy loves to play football. It's fun to watch him. It really is fun to be around him.
Well, as we showed that highlight package from the season, there weren't too many collisions where he didn't get the best of the contact. And he spins his way near 1st and goal. He needed to get to the 2. So let's take a listen.
First down, baby. Hell yeah, first down. That's first down,
Yeah, that's why you want to teach your son to be a kicker, David. You don't want him running up in there and people smashing him in the mouth like that. I also heard Ricky get up and say, good job, and that is not always what you hear from today's student athletes, but that's what you ought to hear. So the trash talk really doesn't cut it with Ricky Williams.
Ricky, well known for taking care of his offensive linemen at Texas. Ricky Williams up the middle, spins toward the goal line, touchdown. The all-time leading scorer in Division 1A football puts the South All-Stars on top. One of 19 other Division 1A records he has besides the career rushing yards record that he took from Tony Dorsett. 44 school records he owns at Texas. The extra point is tacked on by Jeff Hall, and it's 10-7. Ricky Williams of Texas has the South up in the Hula Bowl.
Cars are now breaking the sound barrier. Serves are clocked at 140. We can travel 18,000 miles an hour into space. So how come pain relief isn't faster? Introducing Advil Liquid Gels, the first and only pain reliever in a faster-acting liquid-filled capsule that's gentle on your stomach. On tough pain, Advil Liquid Gels are stronger and faster than extra-strength Tylenol. Headaches to muscle aches. New Advil Liquid Gels. Advanced medicine for pain. Stronger and faster.
So I said to Henny, of course chickens are more important to Hooters than owls.
Who?
Chickens, that's who, Dad.
I beg to differ.
Well, beg all you want. Without chickens, there'd be no chicken sandwiches or chicken salad. Or Hooters' famous chicken wings. There'd be no Hooters if it weren't for chicken.
It's really not wise to even argue the point.
That's because I'm right.
No, that's because you're not going to be around long anyway. Chicken.
We started out a pretty small business, but it sure wasn't small to us. We needed help, financial help. That's just what we got from the people at American Express Small Business Services. We got equipment financing for bigger stoves and faster computers, a line of credit to keep our cash flow flowing, plus the buying power to help our business grow. 1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made. Like my father says, you can do anything you set your mind to, but you can't do it alone. He's right.
South 10 to North 7 with 9:07 to go in the first half of the Hula Bowl in Maui. That is Hayden Fry sporting the post-retirement goatee. We almost didn't recognize him yesterday.
He looks very distinguished, and I told him I am so happy for any of our profession that gets to retire under his own power.
Hall will drive this one all the way through the end zone. North will start from the 20. And Brian Ayat on his last pass, throwing the weak duck over the middle, picked off by Darwin Brown, setting up the go-ahead score. Ayat from Montana will have his second series in relief of Corby Jones.
And when you play in Montana, you understand how to throw in the wind, David.
Probably not so much rain there, but you're used to the 30 and 40 mile an hour gusts. Clarence Williams of Michigan bounces it outside. And a nice 9-yard pickup for Williams, driven out by Paris Johnson of Miami of Ohio. There are quite a few Islanders who have come back to play in this Hula Bowl, including Ayat, Rector Field of Oregon State, Ben Bright from the University of Hawaii, Fainu Lele, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Pacheco, and Wong. So the 24,000 or so with some hometown, home state rooting interests, which is usually the case. Hawaii, one of the best represented schools year in, year out in the Hula Bowl. In a 9 for Williams, and a nice burst off the right side. Big yardage across midfield goes Brian Edwards for 24 yards. Fullback out of East Tennessee State.
Yeah, Lloyd Carr said Brian Edwards is not really accustomed to being a fullback. We're going to hand him the ball. He certainly runs like a tailback. Good authority. Nice job in there by the people up front. Tyrone Hobson, number 64. Starting offensive guard from Eastern Kentucky. Roy Kidd really believes that Tyrone is a good one. Did a great job at Eastern for Coach Kidd.
From the 48 of the South. Out of the eye. Up the middle for a couple goes Jerry Azuma. And coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. here in the islands, final round coverage of the MasterCard Championship, a collection of winners only from the 1998 Senior PGA Tour season. The Top Guns, Hale Irwin and Gil Morgan are there. They're going at it as the Senior Tour tees up again on the big island of Hawaii. And for more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. John Jacobs, a 3-stroke lead over Ray Floyd as they begin final round play. Senior golf following Sports Center later today. Williams, big room, cuts it back 25-20 and down to the 17-yard line, where Paris Johnson runs him down finally.
Very good work by the center, number 52, Mike Sipa. Everybody knows where the center lines up. Not everybody knows what he does. He has to get the ball up, and on a day like this, that's more difficult. You can see him lined up there in the middle, and then a good job of moving his feet, getting a good solid block, maybe just a little bit of jersey there, not too much, to spring his back into the open field. Orlando Ruff from Furman University, the middle linebacker, who was blocked by Sipa.
So that goes 29 yards. North of the 17-yard line of the South. Fumbled exchange, and Ayat falls on it for a rather sizable loss back to the 24. Azuma never got the give.
That's really the sort of thing I expected to see in profusion here, especially in the first half, and we've only seen one of those. The ball has been extremely well handled, which is a good sign of concentration by these players. And I noticed the same thing in practice. There was a rainy day in practice. Receivers like Jones caught the ball extremely well then, as they have in this game, and the backs handled it well.
Goes for a loss of 7. Time Azuma has it, knocked forward to about the 16-yard line by Alton Weaver of Oklahoma State.
The draft experts feel like Weaver is a draftable defensive lineman, number 95 from Oklahoma State. Jerry Azuma's numbers there, phenomenal. You see why. When you see that movement, it looked like Barry Sanders darting up in there, 90-degree move to the right, and then accelerating again. Again, the ground and the turf not a factor to people who run over the balls of their feet.
1AA, career records, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, points, all-purpose yards for Azuma. Yet incomplete. Pretty well thrown ball. Jeff Doisy of Nevada couldn't bring it in.
We talked about passing fundamentals. Nice footwork by Ayat. A 3-step drop, set, throw. All Noisy had to do was look it into his hands. 1, 2, 3, set, throw. Excellent. A little better concentration by the receiver, and you got a nice completion instead of a 4th down.
Well, again, into the wind. A 33-yard kick's going to seem at least 10 yards deeper than that, you'd think, for Chris Brown. Record holder from the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Drives it low and wide right, and it is playing havoc on both these kickers, Brown and Hall, who were about as good as there were in college football last year. Struggling today into the wind is 10-7 South.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and this is Craftsman innovation at its best. Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are the world's first self-adjusting one-handed pliers. With just a simple squeeze of the spring-loaded handle, the jaws automatically adjust for a perfect fit. The Craftsman RoboGrip works on faucets, pipes, and hoses, or for auto repairs. It has hundreds of household uses. And now Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are available in a versatile 3-pack with a 9-inch curved, a 9-inch V-notch, and a 7-inch straight RoboGrip, a $70 value for only $49.99. And it comes with RoboGuards. The RoboGuards slip on and off easily to protect chrome, brass, and other fine finishes. RoboGrip has laminated construction, too, for extra toughness and durability. And like all Craftsman hand tools, RoboGrip is guaranteed forever.
Have your shears weather credit card ready and call 1-800-655-8998 to order your RoboGrip 3-pack with RoboGuards, a $70 value for only $49.99. Call 1-800-655-8998.
Sterling Sharp, Chris Mortensen, Dan Patrick, Tom Jackson, Chris Berman, Mark Malone, Joe Theismann, Jim Kelly, Stuart Scott. That's our Super Bowl team. What's yours? Nobody covers the big game like ESPN. Catch a week's worth of complete coverage on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Classic, ESPN Radio, and ESPN.com right up to the kickoff, and then complete analysis after the game. This Super Bowl team can't be beat.
This field goal by Brown keeps the South on top 10-7. Was he actually trying to bore that one below the wind, or did he just miss that one?
He just missed it. It would be foolish to try to kick a ball low on a field goal, even though they can't block it. Somebody will stick their hand up and get it.
Kelvin Ifon of Arizona on the first down carry for the South. He'll pick up about 8 yards or so to the 28-yard line.
Mike, 2nd and 1.
Ifon really intrigues me because if he can play for Lute Olson and Dick Tomey, he's got to be one of the better athletes in the world. I saw him in the bowl game that they played against Nebraska, and he just did a marvelous job driving for first downs in short yardage situations. But he showed good acceleration to the outside there.
Good running back dimensions, 5'11", 218. Got him at tailback, Walendi at fullback from UCLA. Samuel hanging that one up incomplete, intended for Ifon's Arizona teammate, Jeremy McDaniel. Good coverage that time by Sori Canoe of Michigan State and Tim Curry of Air Force. Had to come prepared today. You didn't bring a poncho or some form of protection from the elements. You probably headed home as soon as you saw what it was like here and then came back. It has been a series of downpours. It's dry at the moment. Precipitation blowing in off the coast, but the wind continues unabated. Ifon is hit for no gain. And after his 8-yard pickup on first down, it turns into a 3-and-out for the South.
Yeah, Sam Sword, number 93, that Michigan leading tackler for the last 3 years. Really one of my favorite young men that we've covered, David. We've had several Michigan games, but I think when Ricky lit him up early, it sort of got his attention. He's been making tackles ever since, sideline to sideline.
Jason Bloom of New Mexico. That 42-yarder was into the wind. Check the hang time and the distance on this one. That might not have gotten all. From the 23, Jones. About a 9-yard return of a 49-yard punt. 3:44 to go in the first half of the 53rd Hula Bowl.
Domino's.
Thank you much.
Uncle James, you are Domino's.
You don't know anything about this.
Yes, we do.
See, the Domino's Heat Wave bag delivers the hottest, best tasting Domino's ever. Golden brown crust, melted cheese.
The cheese stays gooey. Because the Domino's Heat Wave bag is like a portable oven.
Juicy pepperoni, sausage.
Now order 2 medium pizzas with up to 3 toppings for only $13.99.
Domino's! Delivering a million smiles a day.
Get ready to taste life for the first time, people. Watch out now.
You want to taste life? Then take a big swig of this. New Pepsi One. This one's got it all.
The most awesome cola taste
That's bigger than the wild blue yonder. With only 1 calorie. You want to taste one?
Yeah. You want one?
All the taste, 1 calorie. Only one has it all. Regular cola drinkers, diet drinkers, everyone loves the taste. Try it. Tell us what you think, and you could be on your way to the NCAA Final Four.
I had to go out of town, so my best friend said Max could stay with them. Max and Charlie got along great, except that Max kept eating Charlie's food, Purina One brand. So I checked. There's no better nutrition, and Purina One lamb and rice formula has real lamb as the #1 ingredient. That designer dog food I'd been feeding Max has corn as the #1 ingredient. So Max eats Purina One now, and we both couldn't be happier.
Purina One, second to none.
A look at the coast at Kihei, Maui. With somewhat calmer conditions than we've got here at War Memorial Stadium in Wailuku. At the Hospitality second to none, as usual, here on the Valley Island.
The people of Maui are incredible, the way they greet everyone. They've done a marvelous job.
Moore takes over at the 33, and Joe Montgomery is hit for a loss. The run defense starting to pick up as the second quarter winds on. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Fowler.
Well, one of the quarterbacks coping with the tough conditions here today is Kansas State's Michael Bishop. Tough to showcase what you can do, but you know I have to prove one more time, as you did coming out of high school and junior college, that you can play quarterback. That's the position for you, because there's a lot of doubters.
There's a lot of doubters, but every time I've been doubted, I always stepped up to the challenge and made the best of it and had a great career.
Obviously, the NFL is a much bigger challenge than what you've faced so far. Would you consider playing another position? What's the party line right now?
I would like to stay a quarterback. That's where my heart is at. But you know, if I have to play another position just to get started, then that's something I have to do. And then hopefully I just get a chance to play quarterback again.
If you don't play quarterback in the NFL, are you here to say that you can play a wide receiver, a running back, or defensive back? You have the talent to do it?
I think I have the talent to play any position except for O-line, D-line. But you know, I'm just glad I have a chance to just, you know, be one of the best athletes in the nation.
I hope it works out for you, Michael.
Okay.
Congratulations. Great career. Michael Bishop.
Kevin Daft is the quarterback. And his first pass is caught, but was it caught inbounds by Eugene Baker of Kent State? It was, and they'll give him the 41-yard line.
Good job by Daft. Nice set, nice delivery, and an even better job by Eugene Baker, number 2, who had only 101 catches his junior year at Kent State. You see Daft's numbers. Nice step, follow through, high delivery, ball on the outside, both feet in. Nice job. You don't have to get both feet in college ball, but Baker did. That's a good-looking play in these conditions, I'm telling you.
That blowing rain has returned off the coast. 4th and 4, Aaron Langley of Wyoming set to kick it away. Chris McAllister and Sia Burley will let this one hop, and it will take a sideways hop to the 24. 37-yard punt into the wind. We're hearing from Michael Bishop. When Kansas State fans look back on the pivotal era that has just concluded, Kansas State maybe 10 years ago among the worst programs in Division I. Bill Snyder comes, Michael Bishop comes from Lynn Junior College. The two pivotal characters maybe for the next 50 years in Kansas State will probably be those two. Snyder, the coach, and Bishop, the prize quarterback recruit.
Oh, I think so. And the way he handled himself and the way he conducted that offense and led that team was a remarkable thing, and that's how they've done what they've done.
Play fake, Bishop over the middle, juggled and caught by the tight end Mike Lucky of Arizona. And a nice big gain to about the 43-yard line. What has Bishop meant to the Wildcats? Well, 89 to 92, the early years under Bill Snyder, record of 18 and 26. Got it going beginning in about 93, but the last 2 years they have been almost unbeatable. The last two games, of course, were both shocking losses to Texas A&M in the Big 12 championship and to Purdue in the Alamo Bowl. 22-1 until those two back-to-back surprises. Ricky Williams is back in and carries it to North Territory out of bounds at the 47.
And Adolphus McCalla, again, a tribute to his sportsmanship. He drives Ricky out of bounds and then starts pulling up and keeping Ricky from going into the bench this time. You got to really like it. You think this guy isn't respected and admired. Nice tackle there by the corner. Now watch him pull up and keep that opponent from going into the bench and possible injury.
Ricky always referred to as Baby Earl. Adolphus McCalla from Earl Campbell's hometown of Tyler, Texas. Bishop play fake, guns it over the middle for Burley, and he makes the catch at the 20.
And anybody that doesn't think that Michael Bishop can set up, step up, get a good high delivery, and throw the post pattern just saw something that they've been anxious to see. He can do it. Nice play fake. Ball's up nice and high, good extension, perfect throw, good catch. Eric Thigpen on the tackle.
Sia Burley on the receiving end of so many of those bullets from Dante Culpepper at Central Florida. First down for Ifon. Thunders to the 11, a gain of about 9. And coming up at the half, we'll have coverage of the Coach of the Year awards as distinguished by the American Football Coaches Association. We'll have an NFL draft preview with Mel Kiper and an update of the happenings in the day in sports courtesy of ESPN News. A minute 16 seconds away here in Maui.
Good job up front there. Philip Armour, number 67. Chris Comstock, number 70. I had the privilege of recruiting Chris Comstock to the University of Kentucky. Not only has he been a fine player, he's been academic All-SEC the last 3 years. He's already earned 1 degree, and he's working on another. Good blocking up front by the big guys. Jeff Wilson, number 66, now playing his 4th position. He's lined up at left tackle, right guard. Now he's in the game. Nice kick out block. Yeah, Armour. Good job by the center. Good job there by Rob Rainville from Washington State, number 74. To pop Ifon through there for the cleanest gain he's had today.
Philip Armour, only the 2nd North Texas player ever to play in the Hula Bowl.
I knew you'd jump on that.
29 years ago, Steve Ramsey, who later became a Denver Bronco.
And who else graduated from that fine education?
A lot of people. Not just me.
Just you.
Yeah.
Not just you.
No. Ricky Williams brought down by Brad Scioli. At the 9-yard line, it's 1st and goal for the South.
And I'll tell you, these Maui fans are proving their mettle in yet another way. They're staying here. They are not scattering, which they might easily do.
This is their Super Bowl. They've had it here now 2 years. Bishop chased by Scioli, who's got him wrapped up back at the 27-yard line for an enormous loss. Brad Scioli of Penn State ran him down and wouldn't let him get away.
And Brad Scioli, shades of his old quarterback play in high school. Michael's going to give him a couple of moves, give him a leg, and take it away. Brad's having none of it. He got his feet up under him, moved his feet, showed how he might be able to play in a stand-up posture in the National Football League. Watch this. Look at the response to the movement by the more active and the smaller player. Good job by Brad. He was a quarterback in high school. He played defensive end, defensive tackle, and tight end at Penn State before moving back to defensive end, overcoming a serious injury as a freshman to do a great job for Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions.
ESPN and ESPN2 double up to give you complete coverage of tennis's first major of the season. Tonight on ESPN2, coverage features the following matches. On the women's side, Mary Pierce and Anna Kournikova and Andre Agassi featured on the men's side. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com Australian Open Tennis tonight on ESPN2 at 10 p.m. Eastern. Timeout called by the South All-Stars with 42 seconds to go. They're on the 26, but it's goal to go. About a 17-yard sack by Scioli. And it's Bishop from the gun. Scioli chasing him again. Comstock sealed him off. Throw on the run and dropped. Inside the 10 by Cecil Martin, who normally, Bill, showed better hands than that at Wisconsin.
Well, he took a shot. Cecil catches the ball extremely well. I think he's going to play fullback in the National Football League for a long, long time. Gilbo knocks it out. Good hit by Gilbo, and I think this is just a contact, not a fumble, but a contact dropped ball. Yep, he just hit it with the headgear, knocked it out. Cecil's going to catch most of them.
So 3rd and goal from the 26. 31 seconds to go. Johnny Gilbo out of Notre Dame. Martin and Williams split on either side of Bishop. In the gun, he'll swing it over for Ricky Williams. Makes a move past Sam Sword, and Courtney Ledyard of Michigan State finally has him at the 20. Ricky Williams, 2 years under John Makovic, first 2 years especially, spent a lot of time catching passes out of the backfield. There's not much he wasn't called on to do under John McElroy. Let's watch and let's listen.
Maybe I've been talking too much about him being nice to him, David. They weren't very nice to him on that. He cut back and he found a lot of his friends, especially Brechterfield, number 56. And again, Brechterfield, this is really something to be called the most productive defensive player in the history of your school. And he hails from Kanoe in Hawaii.
Ricky Williams, 13 carries, 72 yards. He has caught 2 for 11. Inoki Brechterfield of Oregon.
Well, we got a field goal now, so better than nothing.
Jeff Hall is on to attempt a 37-yarder.
Yeah, and Jeff Wilson, number 66 from Stanford, that we mentioned in our open today, is the long snapper, and he rolled the last one. Sometimes with a wet ball, you just lose control completely. Let's hope he can get it up this time.
Wind has died down somewhat, but it is at Hall's back. And he blasts this one through. 37 yards. Second field goal of the day by Tennessee's Jeff Hall with 12 seconds to go in the half, makes it 13-7.
And I would say that snap was eased back there, David.
Ever so gingerly.
It took a while, but it did not hit the ground before reaching the holder's hands.
Well, it is rivalry week on ESPN, and coming up tomorrow night, Big Monday presented by Bud Light begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, with coverage in the Big East. The #1 UConn Huskies travel to D.C. to take on Georgetown, and then at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, from the Big 12, Texas, and number 25, Oklahoma. And then following Sports Center, the Midnight Snack from the WAC featuring a great point guard matchup, Chris Herron and Fresno State against Andre Miller and Utah. Tomorrow night, Big Monday beginning at 7:30. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. Rivalry week, always one of the more enjoyable week in the college basketball season. Vowell of Utah taking a load off with 12 seconds to go on that north sideline. Daniel Jones takes this one 6 yards deep, and with 12 seconds to go, time for 1, maybe 2 more snaps before halftime.
Yeah, normal situations with the wind like this, you wouldn't think of doing anything but running the clock out and getting to the locker room. But in all-star games, one of the fun things is we might see a little trick play here. We might see them throw it up and just see what can happen. You can always do things to make it fun in games like this.
Kevin Daft of Cal Davis will have his second series at quarterback. So much for the exotics.
See there, I told you you could just do all kinds of things in an all-star game.
In theory, at least. Big first half for Ricky Williams of the South. He had a touchdown. He had 72 yards on the ground. He caught 2 passes, and his South All-Stars have a 13-7 lead over the North at War Memorial Stadium in Maui. And halftime coming up from the Hooters Hula Bowl on ESPN. Completely died down, and now it's picked up, and it may be blowing the hardest that it has all afternoon. Kelvin Ifon with the carry to start the second half, and a pickup of about 9 yards as we look at the halftime stats.
8+ yards for the South.
And for the North, they're outgained by almost 40 yards. They had all 3 of the penalties. They had the only turnover, an interception by Darwin Brown of Texas Tech. Williams leading the way with 13 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Also caught a couple of passes. And he is in at tailback. After the first carry by Ifon, there was movement before the snap.
Yeah, that was David Camacho just a little bit early, the left tackle, 75. Anxious to get this second half underway. a little too anxious by a split second.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
First penalty against the South. There's Ben Adams, who did a lot of the blocking for Ricky Williams over his career at Texas.
Yeah, Ben started 36 in a row. He's a history major there. Good student. 36 starts in a row for a lineman. That's tough to do. Good, tough football player.
6'5", 315 at left tackle. Craig Walendi, the UCLA fullback, a couple of yards.
Good job up there on defense by Bryce Fisher, number 78, the Air Force Academy. Air Force having one of the really great teams in America this year. I think they were really a top 10 type, maybe a top 5 type contender. It's just tough to get the kind of votes when you're a service academy. People just really can't believe you're quite that good.
1 point away from perfection. 1 point lost to TCU, the only mar on the slate for the Air Force Academy. Williams started to the middle, bounces it out, and is corralled. He almost about coming back to the left, and after all this, they'll mark him down at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Ricky just gave away about 25 of his yards. He had 72 yards. That will cut into his total somewhat. And one great thing about backs like Ricky, if this were not an all-star game, you wouldn't see him reversing his field and turning and running. Good play, good contain by Don Morgan, number 31, and Eric Thigpen, number 21, UNLV and Iowa, respectively.
13-yard loss, mostly self-inflicted by Ricky Williams. So punting from near his own end zone. Jason Bloom to the 47. Ladolphius McCalla that time bringing in a 34-yard punt into that win.
Yeah, I can't tell you how hard it is to do what Ladolphius just did. To catch that football out away from your body, it's going away from you. You expect it to come to you. The wind just takes it every which way because it's not a round ball. He did a great job to get that thing hemmed up and catch it and get on the ground.
Interference, 5-yard penalty from the spot. First down.
Penalty on the coverage. The rule there says that you must allow the returner a 2-yard cushion. No coverage man can pass within the 2-yard cushion. I didn't see who the offender was, but
Darwin Brown,
somebody came too close.
Looked like number 3, Darwin Brown for the South. So the North starts from the 43. Kevin Daft remains the quarterback. He finished up the first half out of Cal Davis. Fakes to Clarence Williams. Gets away from pressure. And now Williams on the receiving end. And he'll pick up the first down, a gain of 10 to the 33.
Excellent pass rush that time from the outside by Talent Sawyer, who is a talented pass rusher. Also from UNLV, but he's got to finish the job. He's popping himself on the thigh right now, regretting that he didn't come down with that. It's one thing to beat the blocker, get to the quarterback. It's quite another thing to come under control and get him on the ground. Good job by Daft to adapt to the rush. I knew I could say that. Get a nice throw off to Williams.
Daft going deep after the pump fake, intended for Daniel Jones. Almost made another circus catch. He has the touchdown for the North. Pearson Prelo of Virginia Tech, the guy that he picked on twice in the first quarter, making the defensive play.
Pearson's so happy he's also giving the signal repeatedly. He didn't catch it. He wants everybody to know he didn't catch it. What he doesn't know is that Jones almost turned and took the thing in on the sideline on the second hop.
Daft all day to look, now having to scramble. Pulls up and fires complete on the run, and the catch by Jerry Azuma at the 10-yard line, where it will be first and goal for the North. Let's go down to Chris Fowler.
Well, guys, National Signing Day is looming, and RivalNet has brought the National High School All-Star team here to Hawaii. This is Darnell Dockett out of Maryland with an announcement to make. Darnell?
I just want to let the United States know that I will be attending Florida State University. Go Seminoles, 99.
He has been one of the guys who's been undecided, and one of the big prizes in this recruiting class. Wants to join the great tradition of defensive players down in Tallahassee. Dave?
All right, breaking news from the Hula Bowl.
You can count on Chris Fowler every time.
Bobby Bowden snares another one. Clarence Williams, Warwick Holman of Texas A&M, slinging him down for a loss back at the 13. Holman, no doubt, glad to be playing on the same team as Ricky Williams for a change.
Yeah, I would think so. And this is a nice job of playing responsibility. Sometimes in all-star games, people forget what they're supposed to do, and they just fly all over the place and become totally undisciplined. Holman kept contained, stayed where he was supposed to be, made a nice play.
Ball at a loss of 3. Second down and 13 with Azuma and Williams split behind Daft. 3-step drop, guns it through the hands of Daniel Jones. Jones at the goal line with a catchable ball, but he was about ready to get crunched. Did that take his attention away?
Now, with the defenses structured the way they are in this game, the corners are expecting inside help. So you can say McAllister was beat inside. He was not necessarily beat. He's expecting a free safety to be right there to blow up whoever it is that goes in on that skinny post. You can only line up in a 3 deep or a man-free coverage in this game.
Third down for Daft. Runs this one toward the end zone, and it is broken up. Ball was intended for Raul Pacheco, and Harris Johnson, the safety from Miami of Ohio, made the play.
Daft's got a nice arm. He did a nice job on the previous play. Maybe that was not a well-advised throw just here. A little too much coverage right there by Paris Johnson, who's known as a tough guy and a big-time tackler. Did a good job in coverage that time, but the previous throw should have been caught by Daniel Jones. Jones has proven that he can catch the ball, but the thing was gunned in there. You got to make that one, too.
31-yarder for Chris Brown. With the wind, he sends it wide right, so Chris Brown not benefiting even with the wind at his back. And it remains 13-7.
United is setting the standard for others to follow. Rising is leading.
It introduced the most powerful overall line of pickups on the planet and stamped the terms V10 and Magnum power indelibly on the face of truckdom. It kicked open the door to the next generation of pickups and made such an impression that today, this is all you have to see to know what's behind it.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Hooters Hula Bowl is presented by Hooters Restaurants, delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. And in part by United Airlines, rising as a daily commitment to make flying more civilized. United is rising.
Come to Maui and you want to do some snorkeling, you head to Molokini, where it is spectacular beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean. And we're not far away at War Memorial Stadium, where it's 13-7 in favor of the South All-Stars. Denvis Manns on the receiving end of the swing pass thrown by Mike Samuel of Wisconsin. This following the second missed field goal, a 31-yarder after a missed 33-yarder earlier by Chris Brown of Nebraska.
Very difficult to time up things like screens during the All-Star week. You just have such a limited time for practice, so you should hold off the rushers for a good 2 or 3 counts, depending on the timing of the screen, and they were in on Samuel immediately that time. A good job by Fisher to break up the catch.
Manns on the carry again to about the 23. Manns in the otherwise all-Wisconsin backfield with Martin and Samuel. And Barry Alvarez is Rose Bowl champions.
Coach Price thought that Manns was a superb screen-type back, and he planned to use him that way in this game. I just keep looking at these stats. This guy gained 1,000 yards plus 4 consecutive years. That's durability. That's toughness. Got to be a lot of talent there.
One of only 3 to do so, Dorsett and Amos Lawrence of North Carolina the others. Samuel pressured by Brad Scioli, who has risen above everybody else defensively. He has become the key factor for the North All-Stars. Unblockable, really, since about the middle of the second quarter.
Jeff Wilson, number 66 from Stanford, has played all 4 positions other than center. Probably not fair to him. He's here at right tackle against a fine player in Brad Scioli. Gets his pads turned parallel to the sideline. You can't pass protect that way. You got to keep him square to the line of scrimmage.
So the punt into the wind, and you see the wind reach up and knock that one down off the foot of Bloom. McCalla with flags down returns it out of bounds to the 45. It's just a 31-yard punt by Bloom.
Another superb exhibition of athletic ability by McCalla, and even more so when he hurdled the bench over here. Leaped completely over it rather than to be injured by going into it.
2-yard belt violation on the kick. 5-yard penalty. First down.
A second time in a row that's happened on a South punt. Caught by McCalla. 8:51 to go in the third quarter. 13-7 South in the Hula Bowl.
Our girls earn their wings every day.
Hooters, it's not just a restaurant, it's an adventure.
They clean them. They polish them. They lavish them with extras. Maybe the reason Dodge Ram owners take such good care of their trucks is that their trucks take such good care of them. And now, Ram is J.D. Power and Associates' most appealing full-size pickup for the 4th consecutive year. The rules have changed.
Well, the sun's starting to peek out. Spirits brightening at War Memorial Stadium. 13-7. North takes over at the 42 after the penalty at the end of the short punt. Corby Jones of Missouri back at quarterback for the first time since the first quarter. Responsible for the only North points at this moment. A touchdown pass to Daniel Jones, and drifting back after the play fake. Now chased. And Corby Jones doing what he did best at Columbia. Pulled it down and ran it for a short gain of about 2 before Courtney Ledyard of Michigan State hit it.
Yeah, Corby did a good job here. Corby Jones is very agile. Watch Rick Nord of Louisville, number 79. Excellent job of pulling, scanning, locates the defender, blocks Sawyer, gives his quarterback a chance to make a little gain rather than take a big loss. Rick Nord comes from a good football family back in Louisville. Has had an outstanding career there at the university.
38 rushing, 26 passing touchdowns for a school record for Corby Jones. Daniel Jones, the short toss, gained to about the 37.
Corby Jones continues to impress, throwing on rhythm. And that doesn't sound like a big thing, but it's critically important. It negates the pass rush.
Talked about what Michael Bishop meant in the recent history of Kansas State football. You could say pretty much the same thing like Corby Jones and the resurgence of Missouri football.
He really could. He and Devin West, the tailback, combined for 10,000 some odd yards and 93 touchdowns in their career. That's big stuff.
This year, nobody else scored a rushing touchdown for Missouri besides those two, Jones and West. Inside give for Brian Edwards of East Tennessee State. Needed 2 for the first down. He got hit quickly by Alton Weaver. Let's send it down to Chris Fowler.
And I'm with the South head coach Mike Price of Washington State. Give me your analysis of this offensive game so far.
I've never called so many runs in my entire life, but with Ricky Williams and our running backs back there, and we got a big, powerful line, so we're having lots of fun.
And your quarterbacks are dealing with the conditions pretty well, considering.
Yeah, it's very windy down here, and we need to catch the ball a little bit better. But I thought the quarterbacks have been throwing the ball on both sides actually pretty well.
I know for you, this is all about payback against Lloyd Carr for the Rose Bowl loss, right?
Not really, but
have fun, Mike.
Flags everywhere. Mike not exactly eaten up with that desire for revenge in this matchup, is he?
Mike has had more fun. I think Mike may have had more fun per capita if there's a
snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
There's the official's call. Mike Price has had fun with his guys. He's been light at practice. He's told them jokes. He's kept them loose. Actually, both staffs have done a great job, and these are great football coaches. All these guys have earned the right to be here by winning and conducting their programs in a proper way.
Langley set to punt. Price's assistants Bob Simmons of Oklahoma State, Mark Whipple of UMass, Mel Churchman, Northwest Missouri State. For the South All-Stars, kick into the end zone. Hayden Fry of Iowa, Roy Kidd, Eastern Kentucky, Larry Karras of Mount Union College, the assistants for Lloyd Carr. ESPN and ESPN2 will be the source for all the happenings at the Super Bowl. Following the game, SportsCenter begins nightly coverage from Miami as the Falcons and the Broncos get set. Nightly interviews on Up Close, nightly analysis and breakdowns on the NFL Tonight, plus Super Bowl editions of the award-winning NFL Countdown, as well as NFL Prime Time. It all begins right after the Hula Bowl, only on ESPN and ESPN2. And for more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Well, Samuel remains the quarterback for the South. Ricky Williams back in for a series at tailback. Greg Walendi is the fullback, and Williams heads straight up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles and rambles for about 17 yards. Call it 16 officially, and if you take away that 13-yard loss, he'd be getting real close to 100. As it is, 15 carries, 75 yards.
And a good job that time by number 66, Jeff Wilson, who's now in at right guard. He continues to rotate, and he plays virtually every series at a different position each time. Good block up front. Also, Thomasy did a nice job, the center from LSU.
Williams again. And this time plugged by Sam Sword, the middle backer. Ryan Thomasy, the center out of LSU. Jeff Wilson along the offensive line from Stanford, and he was one of the guys that you talked about with a chance to really improve his status coming into the draft.
Yeah,
today.
the scouts really like him. He comes off here a nice scrape block, but that's what old coaches call a cross saw. The hole is to the outside, the back goes to the inside and gets hit by the linebacker, when actually there was pretty good blocking.
Williams again shedding one tackle, but limited to at best no gain. McCalla coming up from cornerback to help bring down Ricky Williams. You know, he's got the record, but since Ron Dane's announcement that he's coming back for his senior year at Wisconsin, he may only have the record for a year. Ron Dane, if he has what has been for him an average senior season, will give Ricky Williams a new career mark a real run.
Yeah, Ron's a great back, but he didn't play fullback his first 2 years and played primarily as a blocker and receiver.
He has been the featured back from his freshman year on. Williams to the 40 on what was 3rd and 9. Boy, Mike Price really is going conservative. He wasn't kidding about never calling this many runs.
Hey,
so Jason Bloom will kick it away on 4th and 5.
Mike Price sitting on a lead. I mean, that's sacrilegious.
A 6-point lead at that. What about 19 and a half minutes still to go?
I like McCalla back there catching these punts. He's liable to do something soon.
Not a bad kick into this win. McCalla watches it hop. Dead at the 26. 4:23 remaining in the 3rd quarter, where the South still leads it by 6.
Talk about disasters. I was on a long business trip and tried to rent a car, but my Visa card was over the limit. I was stuck. That's why I applied for the American Express card. Who wants somebody telling you how much you can spend?
It's easy to apply for the American Express card. Just call 1-800-THE-CARD.
Every dollar I charge gets me points I can use for free flights or gifts, even trips. And the points don't expire, so I can vacation in Bali instead of my backyard.
I saved $10 on a new golf club just because I used the card. On every statement, they give me these great deals. You gotta love that.
No matter where I go, I never feel lost because American Express is always there. It's nice to know when you're far away.
So why wait to apply? Call 1-800-THE-CARD.
It helps you get where you want to go in life.
Call now and see how the American Express card can help you do more.
Your dad won an ESPY? Most outrageous play of the year, 1996. The field goal jumper.
The 1999 ESPY Awards, live February 15th, 7:30 p.m., hosted by Samuel L. Jackson, the greatest night in sports.
January 24th, he was a star quarterback until his wife took over his body. Now the New Orleans Saints will learn a whole new way to play ball.
Positive thoughts, people.
A saintly switch. ABC Sunday, January 24th.
Well, if you get tired of snorkeling or surfing, you can head to the Ho'opili Trail for some world-class hiking here on the island of Maui, where, knock on wood, it's starting to clear up, I think. We look out over the ocean, and at last we see blue skies in addition to blue waters. Daft will start the series with a completion to Azuma, good for a pickup to the 27-yard line.
That ball led him just a little too close to the sideline. He actually turned it up a little late, so when he caught the ball, he couldn't explode up the sideline, but rather had to run out of bounds. Again, a timing thing between the QB and the running back, the kind of thing that you just can't get done in a week.
Marker was thrown, and they'll spot the line of scrimmage at the 31. After offsides, 1st and 5 for the North from there. Daft overthrows Clarence Williams on the swing pass. Well, Jerry Azuma on the North, Ricky Williams on the South, and they can compare stats all day long. Williams, of course, the record 6,279 yards, and Azuma, the holder of the 1 AA mark, 6,193 yards. Both bettering the previous record of Tony Dorsett, 6,028. Rushing touchdowns, 60 for Azuma, record 72 for Ricky Williams. Comparable careers in some different circumstances. Azuma out of Worcester, Mass, and the University of New Hampshire.
What does that mean?
And another whistle. And another flag.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Sounded like the official heard Ricky's question. What's happening now is the game's deteriorating a little bit. These are the kinds of things you might have expected early in the game, but not at this stage. Maybe concentration's wavering just a shade. I hope not. Too many mistakes right here. Center and the quarterback got to get it together on the snap count.
Kevin Daft started sharp 3 of his first 4, and he has missed his last 3 until now. That one is brought in inbounds. And the catch made by Raul Pacheco from Montana, where he was Brian Ayat's teammate.
Yeah, the protection wasn't really particularly good. There was real good pressure from Ben Bright that time, number 78 from Hawaii, who just took his man and drove him into the quarterback right in his face, and the completion was still made.
Not quite enough for the first. 3rd and 1. From the eye, this may have been a busted play. Clarence Williams went left, and it looked like Daff expected to hand it to him going right, but Daff keeps it and should have enough for the first. And in fact, he does.
Several miscommunications here in this series. There's nobody there to take the football. Quarterbacks are trained when this happens. You get what you can up the pipe, and this time it was enough for the first.
Daft again for that far sideline, and the diving catch by Daniel Jones of Utah is ruled out of bounds. Incomplete.
Yeah, I don't think he had control of the ball. Jones got off to a great start today. Now I think maybe what happens too that people don't realize in a game like this, the referees, the officials, especially the umpire, do a good job of taking care of the football as long as they can. You got 12 footballs from each team in a regular game. After a while, that thing gets wet, and there's nothing they can do about it. So sometimes as the game goes on, it gets harder to handle.
Daff steps up, guns it over the middle, and it is caught. Complete by Kevin Daff to Eugene Baker of Kent State, and that's the best catch I think we've seen all day. 28 yards.
Marvelous adaptation by the QB, who moves his feet. The protection is adequate. He steps up. He's waiting for somebody to begin to break open. He shows good anticipation, throws off the break. The free safety doesn't get there. And Baker has great concentration to bring the ball in. He gains a little weight. He'll be very special in the next level.
Baker just 161 on a 6'2 frame, and Myron Terry unloads on Clarence Williams, the former Colorado State defensive back. Well, he had time to load up on that one because he got a full head of steam as soon as Daff let that one go. Williams had no protection whatsoever.
That's his coverage. Clarence will go back and say, Mr. Daff, when they're in man like that, would you please check my man out before you hang me out to dry, if that's possible in this climate. One more step, and that ball will be picked going the other way.
Draw play for Williams. Room off the right side, inside the 30. And to the 28-yard line, where Chris McAllister, the All-America from Arizona, and pretty solid #1 pick. We talked about guys who might be able to improve their position. Maybe he moves up a spot or two, but look for him somewhere in the first half of the first round.
Yeah, he just showed another dimension. He's not just a great cover man. He is that. But he's also tough. He stepped up and drove his shoulder pad through an explosive ball carrier, knocked him backwards. Good play by Chris. Chris's mom was here at practices this week. I think she enjoyed it more than anybody.
Clarence Williams' 6th carries, good for 55 yards. Good afternoon for the former Wolverine. Daft making it up as he goes, and the catch over the shoulder by Joel Thomas of Idaho, inbounds. Little street ball.
Yeah, that's the second time that we've seen good street ball by Daft, who makes the adjustment. And then a nice job by Thomas to turn it up and give his quarterback a good place to throw the football, and then to catch the ball and get his foot in bounds. Good adjustment. Tough catch to make.
Joel Thomas, 5'7", 222. That is a fullback, though. Half 6 out of 12, now 96 yards. Williams cuts it back toward the middle. And to about the 8. Gain of 3 on first down from the 11. McAllister, part of a group headed to the NFL draft, which will include, among others, at the cornerback position, in Mel Kiper's view, Champ Bailey of Georgia, Fred Vinson Antoine Winfield, Fernando Bryant, Dre Bly of North Carolina. Led the nation in interceptions as a freshman 2 years ago. Good class.
Good program. Dick Tomey does a good job.
Into the end zone, and another sensational catch by Eugene Baker. Beating Pearson Prelo, who was victimized again by a terrific grab.
Yeah, this guy is really a good football player. He's 161 pounds, 6'2". If I were a scout or I were his agent, I'd get him in the weight room, and I'd be sure he puts on a few pounds because this guy can play. I believe he can play with anybody. He looked that way in practice, and anybody who catches 101 passes in one season as the all-time leading receiver in the history of his school knows what he's doing.
Chris Brown has had a tough day. This one, he just does sneak inside that right upright with 38 seconds to go to put the North on top.
Folks, this is not easy. Good job by Daff to find the open spot, and an even better job by Baker to get up, use his fingertips, and bring that ball in his hands. This is the way you play football in the red zone. Beautiful.
Probably the three most impressive catches of the day, all at the expense of Prelo, who was right there and wrapped him up hard as he could. Couldn't jar it loose from Baker, and it's 14-13.
It looks like he's handling it pretty well. All DBs understand that stuff's going to happen. Yeah, the good ones all act like it's an accident if you catch one on them anyhow. He's been playing a long time in a good, tough defensive system there with Coach Frank Beamer. He'll recover and probably make a few plays of his own before the day's over. And like you said, it's not as if he's just been run out of the stadium. He's been right there every time. He's just been victimized by some great athletic feats.
Brown out of the hold of Eric Thigpen. Try to get this one up beneath the gale. And this one will, I think that sail right through the uprights. Unlike a couple of his field goal tries.
He'd like to have had that kick from the 35.
Let's send it down to Chris Fowler, who is with Eugene Baker.
Yeah, a couple of nice catches, Dave, on that drive, including the touchdown. The man from Kent State. Give me an honest weight for you.
170, played this year,
170. Hey, come on, he's listed at 160, and Bill Curry says you got to get in the weight room, get stronger for the next level.
Oh yeah, that's no doubt. I mean, I got to put on a couple pounds for this time between for the next level. But I mean, you know, it's a speed game. If you have speed, you can play with anybody.
Those big, strong corners there, you can get off the jam.
Yeah, well, we're not really pressing out here today. They're just playing 3 deep and just man. But I think
in the NFL, they'll press you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You just got to out-quick them, you know, use your moves, get off the line. You'll be all right.
You might be 170 in wet equipment, guy.
If that. If that. But he's had the 2 best catches of this Hula Bowl today. Mac record holder at Kent State. Kelvin Efon carried for a gain of about 5 on first down, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter of the 53rd Hula Bowl. Led most of the way by Michael Bishop's South All-Stars, but Baker getting the North back on top as we head to the 4th quarter in Maui. (14-13) with 15 more minutes to go. Come on back.
How to speak Australian. Witness Protection Program. Beer. Foster's. Australian for beer.
Bumper-to-bumper traffic? Anyone? Change the oil. Endless construction? Scooter. Change the oil. High cholesterol? Change the oil. Every driving adventure is an opportunity to win one of 100,000 prizes found hidden under the caps. Specially marked Pennzoil motor oil. Trips to ESPN sporting events, the ESPYs, merchandise from Pennzoil and ESPN can be yours if we change the oil. He twists, he turns, he scores.
They clean them. They polish them. They lavish them with extras. Maybe the reason Dodge Ram owners take such good care of their trucks is that their trucks take such good care of them. And now, Ram is J.D. Power & Associates' most appealing full-size pickup for the 4th consecutive year. The rules have changed.
Good boy, Simon.
When your dog is the star of a syndicated comic strip, you get lots of fan mail. Okay, Simon gets most of it. When we ran the strip where Simon snubs his food, people sent all kinds of dog food. I read the labels, and in every bag of Purina One brand beef and rice formula, beef is the #1 ingredient. In lots of designer dog foods, it's corn. So I let Simon try Purina One. I'd say it went over pretty well. Purina One, second to none.
From processing stock trades in the financial world to selling hits in the music world, from sharing information in government operations to medical operations, from the manufacturing of products to the interaction of products, from tracking packages to tracking spending. At Sun, our technologies power the net for business. We're the dot in .com. What can we .com for you?
How to speak Australian.
Oi!
Wake up call. Beer. Foster's, Australian for beer.
Welcome again to Wailuku, Maui, Hawaii. Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, and Chris Fowler from the Hula Bowl. We're 14-13 north. Our score headed to the 4th quarter. It's the south ball from the 26-yard line. They have a 2nd and 4. Michael Bishop, the quarterback, fake to Denvis Manns. And it's complete to McDaniel of Arizona for a first down to the 39.
Another one of those Arizona players. The coaches have been impressed. The South coaches have been impressed with the Arizona players, their leadership. McAllister, McDaniel, the big tight end, Mike Lucky, number 89. They've done a good job of leadership. Nice catch there by McDaniel.
He goes wide right. Wayne McGarity is wide left. Give it on the ground for Manns, and a little burst up the middle for Denvis. Gain of about 6. We go down to Chris Fowler.
Denvis Manns on the carry. Pick up of 7 yards. Taken down by Courtney Ledyard.
T. Davis, who expects to be in the mix, and that's Kevin Daft, who just threw the touchdown pass. What do you feel you have to show scouts?
Well, I think coming from a Division II school, I have to prove that I can play with this caliber of players. And I'm just having fun out here and go out here and relax.
And you hooked up with your roommate here, Eugene Baker, right?
Yeah, we had talked about it before. We were going to hook each other up. So he was open on both of those, and I just made a nice throw, and he made a great catch.
What's your message, though, to scouts at the Combine who might have doubts about size and level of competition, things like that?
You know, I don't think the size really matters. And at the NFL level, I mean, if you can escape and just make plays, I think that's the key.
How'd you talk Coach Card letting you have the ball with the win? Because nobody scored against the win here today yet.
Yeah, I think I just got lucky. My series came up.
Congratulations, Kevin. Nice job. Yes.
Lloyd Carr's got good play out of Kevin Daft.
Lloyd was telling me all week that, look, I think they've stacked the deck. That South team's got better players. I just think they got too many good players. We didn't get a player here. I said, Lloyd, every time I've heard that, the coach that said that has won the game, and here he is ahead.
Even in all-star games, crying poor.
Well, you know how most golf games are determined on the first tee. Park Williams, good hit there, number 57, the linebacker out of Minnesota. 36 consecutive starts. That's tough to do for a linebacker, any kind of lineman or linebacker. One of the best ever in the University of Minnesota history. They played outstanding defense this year.
Ending his career a whole lot better than he began it. He tore his ACL on the first play of his freshman year. 1994, took a medical redshirt year. Never missed another game, 95 through 98. Here's Williams with a head of steam to the 30.
Yeah, and that time they exploited the quickness of number 55, Mark Megna, who exploded up the field. Cecil Martin, as usual, number 37, did a great job blocking on number 48, Joe Tuapala. Here comes Cecil, 37. Good job there by Comstock. The right tackle, number 70. Cecil didn't cut him. He just took him on, mano a mano. One of the reasons I believe Cecil will be a fine NFL fullback.
15 more yards for Ricky Williams. 19 carries, 94 on the afternoon. And this one he takes left. Got away from Gilbo. Driven out at the 27 by Donnell Day of Cal State Northridge.
Great backs run the ball out every single time they carry it. Practice, game, in their dreams. This guy's no exception. He is a great football player. He reminds me so much of every great back I've ever played with or against. Look at the stiff arm. Good job by Day to hang in there and get him on the ground. Ricky Williams didn't come over here for a vacation. Just as he said, he is a football player. He came here to play some ball. He loves to play. He's having fun today.
Close to 100. They get it here.
Well, he gave him back 13 on that
Yeah,
one.
he'd be well over it had that not happened. Bishop rolling after the play fake for Wayne McGarity, who caught it just out of bounds. Now, the fact that McGarity is here, a tribute in part to Williams because he lobbied on behalf of his teammate to get him selected to the South team. It's also a tribute to his powers of recuperation, which are amazing. He has torn an ACL 3 times in his career. One time, and that ends a lot of careers. He's come back 3 times from worst injury a receiver can have.
That's right, and there were 3 total reconstructions, Dave. There are a couple of ways to treat that injury. He had the reconstruction, plus he's had 2 scopes, and the guy can fly. He's a marvelous player.
Only 1,000-yard receiver in Texas history. Accomplished it this year. Bishop telling him to go deep, and a flag is down. McGarity and Bishop, I think, playing some street ball that time. Bishop looked at him and
it was a
pointed toward the end zone, and there was some contact with Tim Curry.
It was a hook and go. Tim Curry knew that they had him, so he just locked up and popped him, didn't let him go deep because he had already broken up on the hitch.
So it will go as a defensive holding period, a penalty against the North. Frank White, our referee, with the call. Here's what happened.
If Tim Curry, number 5, is the corner, it's a hitch and go, and they got him right here. Nice fake, nice throw. Curry, number 5, just grabs hold of 87 McGarity. We didn't get it on the camera, but that's exactly what happened. And Tim would tell you it's a whole lot better to have that penalty than to give up 6 points. Now Wayne's out there saying, don't grab me this time, man.
6th penalty against the North. And it sets up 1st and 10 at the 17. Williams with his chance to go over 100, and he's got it, and he's near the 10-yard line.
And his old teammate, Ben Adams, number 79, got a nice kick out to provide the running room. Ricky gave a little stutter step there, drew the pursuit to the outside, and then boom, back up inside. The right guard's number 79. You see that big 315-pound frame right there. He's the guy that provides the space. We get a little extra shot of Bishop. Then we go back to the ball carrier who's got the nice game.
One more for Ricky, and room off the left side. Ricky Williams, touchdown. 2nd of the day for the Heisman man.
Yeah, and Ricky's found out what Ron Dane has known for a long time. Cecil Martin is a real helpful guy to have around. Cecil, poor Joe Tuapala, got another chance to get out there and get a hit on Ricky. This time he figures Cecil's going to take him on again, so he comes to blow him up, and Cecil cut him right on the ground, and Ricky walks in for the touchdown. Nice job by Cecil Martin.
Ricky now on his 22nd carry, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. Better than 5 per carry, average 6 per carry during his career at Texas. Jeff Hall for the extra point is good. So the South All-Stars jump back on top of the North in the Hula Bowl, 20-14.
look at, you know, 33. If you say 33 repetitively, 33, 33, 33, 33, it makes you thirsty. It sounds like thirsty. Somebody will say, "Are you thirsty?" And you'll be like, I guess I am. It sounds like I am because at 33 I'm thirsty. I would give you one of my beers, but then I wouldn't have something divisible of 33. I would have 5, which is not divisible by 33. But inherently, all numbers are divisible by 33.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 1999 Hooters Hula Bowl is presented by Hooters Restaurants. Delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. And in part by Just for Men, the leader in men's hair coloring. Blends away gray in 5 minutes.
Kayakers off the coast of Kihei. Spectacular scenery around Maui. We're at War Memorial Stadium, the south on top of the north. We're joined by a man that in large part is responsible for bringing the Hula Bowl here to Maui. Grant Taft, executive director of the American Football Coaches Association. A couple of years here. What's the review on moving the game from Honolulu?
Well, I tell you, we couldn't be happier. You see this crowd out there. I can tell you a lot of stadiums that this place would be empty if it rained like this, and the crowd's been great. The support has been tremendous over here, Dave. I'm very pleased with it, and we will be back.
I always had the impression your years at Baylor, you learned how to control the weather, but that has been dispelled today.
No, but let me say this while we're watching that play. You and Bill up here, a lot of folks out there that see this clear broadcast don't realize what you all are going through to make this happen, and the crew out on the field, and even Fowler, who thought he was coming over here to bask in the sun on the sideline, has been sopping wet down there. But your whole crew, your producer, all the folks in the trucks, I tell you, the job y'all have done in this weather has been incredible.
Hey,
thank you for that.
We're the least of it. Believe me, the technical guys who risk,
I know well.
They risk electrocution with every move they make.
I know.
But you're absolutely right. Ayat with the pass, and we'll get a pass interference call over there. Would you say this game is set in Maui for the foreseeable future?
Yes. There's no question about it. It's been a great move. We'll probably expand the stadium a little bit more, but you know, somewhere around 30,000. But it's just been a joy to see it take place and to see it happen over here.
On the defense, spot of the foul, first down.
And as you said, crowd sticking around. We appreciate your coming up to stick around with us a little
Great
bit.
to see both of you.
I want to ask one thing, Grant. You were really wet the first time I saw you today, and you now are extremely dry. Could you explain that, since we're still stopping wet up here and you didn't bring us any clothes? I mean, I thought you were my man.
I actually purchased new clothes, to tell you the truth. I was sopping wet.
You found some street vendors.
Appreciate the good job you guys do for college football, and I mean that sincerely, and ESPN.
Well, you do a great job for the coaches, and all the coaches appreciate you, Grant.
Grant Taft of the American Football Coaches Association. Let's send it down to Chris Fowler.
I'm with the guys that had a pretty good last couple of months. Big Ten Coach Championship, Rose Bowl victory, and he's blown people up out here as a block and fullback today. Cecil Martin. Is this a little lesson in Badger football today for the north side?
Man, I'm over here on the south side. I don't know.
Blocking the north defense I'm talking about.
Oh, man, we're just out there having fun. You know, we're just playing physical football. You know, that's what I've been playing all 5 years. That's how we do it at Wisconsin. That's how we brought it down here to the south.
NFL always has a need for fullbacks, not necessarily first-round guys, but do you believe you belong to that? You have good enough hands?
I think I have good enough hands. I think Mike Samuel done thrown me enough balls to show that I can catch the ball. It's kind of slippery out here, so, you know, we're not going to be throwing that much. We're going to be throwing it in there, but, hey, you know, it's just playing football and having fun.
You've been a source of controversy because Lloyd Carr saw a guy from Wisconsin end up from the South team. How'd that happen?
I don't know. I don't know what their idea of geographic north or south is.
Southern Wisconsin, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Ricky Williams is glad this guy's on the South, fellas.
Yeah, he's getting the same treatment Ron Dane got. A whole lot of open space in front of him when Cecil Martin's doing the clearing. Ayat has a 3rd and 4. He is 0 for 4 through the air with an interception. Thought about keeping, now will keep for no gain.
That's your traditional coverage sack. There wasn't anybody open. He started up, came back, still couldn't find anybody. So the secondary did a a nice job to make him pull that ball down.
Aaron Langley on to punt. Wind has been gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour all afternoon, and it right now is probably blowing about as hard as it has all day.
Yeah, and the South coaches wisely have got 2 returners back there with Burley and McAllister, so they can handle this thing in case it does go a strange way. They don't need to handle that.
It goes just about nowhere. A little bit of a north roll down to the 30. Chris pointed out not a single point has been scored into the wind today, and that's a 34-yarder by Langley. It's the South by 6 with 8:55 to go.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel. No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
It's not regular hair coloring. It's specially made to penetrate that coarse, hard-to-color gray. Simply brush in and in 5 minutes, rinse. Now gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Will someone cue the music?
Louie, what are you doing?
My family has been in this swamp
Louie.
for over 5,000 years.
Louie, I'm begging you.
During Prohibition, when the swamp ran dry, my family pulled together. My great-grandfather, the Worm Master.
Louie, that's enough.
And my grandfather, the Fly Master.
That's enough, Louie.
Gathered up the flies and the worms to be saved and handed down that brilliant tradition to me, Louie.
Oh, Louie, you're begging for a pink slip.
Izzy, this cold, I'm so stuffed up. Feels like I'm underwater, too. The sneezing and coughing can last all night. My eyes won't shut either. I need NyQuil for relief so I can rest. Because I have plans in the morning. What? I can't say.
With NyQuil, he gets relief, so he'll sleep and wake up to a good morning.
Don't look.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
South over the North, 20-14. South ball at their 30-yard line, where Michael Bishop of Kansas State remains the quarterback. Walendi and Ifon split on either side of Bishop in the shotgun, and it's fumbled by Ifon and recovered at the 32-yard line by the North. And coming up with the loose ball, Penny Talamaivo of Utah for the North All-Stars.
Good job by Talamaivo. Number 91. There are many programs where every single player practices recovering fumbles every day. And the way he dives on that ball and pulls it in a fetal position is the proper way to recover a fumble, rather than rolling over and over the way you see sometimes that ball gets knocked out. Good job, Penny. Got the ball back for your team.
All WAC selection, 6'4", 313-pound defensive tackle. Turns it over at the 32 of the South. Daft is still their quarterback. Clarence Williams cutting away from the tackle, and a hard-fought gain of about 3. Ball ripped away from Ifon right when it appeared he thought he had a hole to run through.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where his arm was pulled away from his body. You got to clamp that thing so hard so that even if someone grabs your forearm, they can't pull it away from the football.
So up to the South defense to make a stand. Daft over the middle and broken up by Darwin Brown, who has the interception and came close to picking that one off, intended for Eugene Baker.
Darwin Brown is a superb player. We had his bowl game, his team playing against Ole Miss and Shreveport in the Sanford Bowl game, and he is a marvelous cover man. I referred to the 3-deep coverage and the man-free coverage. He didn't have to really take the responsibility for that inside route, but he broke on the ball, closed, and got there.
3rd and 7 for Daft. Over the outstretched hand of Darwin Brown, who was actually closer to it than the intended receiver, Daniel Jones.
That was a miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver. Daniel Jones thought he was supposed to curl to the to the corner, and the quarterback either threw it away or thought he was going to the back of the end zone.
4th and 7. So timeout will be called by the North. With 8:03 to go, we'll break in a 6-point game in Maui, the 53rd annual Hula Bowl on ESPN.
I'll never use a traditional broker again. I've saved thousands on commissions.
Finally, I'm in control of my own money.
Investing will never be the same again. Introducing the new E-Trade, the web's one-stop financial center.
I can get stocks, options, mutual funds.
Invest with 10 times more research, more power, and data security just by calling this number.
I get in-depth information, analytical tools, absolutely free.
There's free real-time stock quotes, IPOs, and important news about your stocks emailed to you. Tools to help you make smarter investment decisions. Still from $14.95 a stock trade.
Who knew it could be this easy?
E-Trade, the #1 rated online broker. Open an account right now, and we'll deposit $50 right into your account. For your free sign-up bonus, call this number now.
Why pay someone else to do what I can do for myself?
E-Trade. Someday, we'll all invest this way.
.03 to go. North has called timeout to discuss what they want to do on a 4th and 7 from the 28-yard line. Down by 6, wind being in their face, they will go for it. And Kevin Daff sends Jones wide right and Baker wide left. And now the South, having seen what the North has in mind, will call a defensive timeout. Well, at this point, it stands as Ricky Williams' day. To nobody's surprise, the Heisman winner, 22 carries, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns among his highlights.
He pops tackles, he sheds people, he knocks people unconscious as he did in the Cotton Bowl. He takes on 6 tacklers there, and he smells the end zone with Cecil Martin out front. That's 100% of Ricky Williams, which is about all he gives to anything. What a very special man he is.
If you're starting a new franchise as Cleveland is, do you start?
I want him.
You start with a running back.
I want Ricky Williams. If he played guard, I would want Ricky Williams. If he played basketball, I would want Ricky Williams on my side. I mean, the guy is just a special. He's a difference maker. He's going to make a difference in an organization because of the kind of man he is.
Any difference in this game? Now ready on 4th and 7. Daft will be sacked at the 33. Talent Sawyer, the defensive end from UNLV.
And Talents had prepared a double celebration move for the crowd when he finally got his sack. I'm not sure what we would call it, but the move is superb. He beats Deal 54, who turns his shoulders. We indicated earlier that's not the way to beat a wide rusher. You got to explode back if you're the offensive tackle and keep your pads square. Good pass rush. Good job by Sawyer, who, by the way, was a 6'11" high jumper in high school. I don't think, David, at his present body weight, he could get that girth over the bar.
275, you don't think?
I don't think. But he can rush the passer, that's for sure.
2-time all-conference pick in the WAC. They turn it over to the South offense. Efon with the give from Michael Bishop. And a gain of a couple. Coming up on Friday, ESPN and ESPN2 present a couple of NFL special events at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. On ESPN2, it's the NFL Lineman Challenge from Miami. The best of the big men go head-to-head to find out who's really the man. And then at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, a more serious presentation as the NFL appoints its Man of the Year. Who best represents the responsibilities of a professional, both on and off the playing field? For more NFL news, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Bishop with that huge arm, cranking one up, and a flag is thrown on a push-off. It's caught, but will the catch stand for Troy Smith of East Carolina? Who pushed whom is the decision. If it stands, it's 47 yards from Bishop to Smith.
Yeah, Smith made plays like that regularly at East Carolina. Don Morgan does not agree with the official's call, but Don's not making the call. Number 31, the corner in the game, being called for pass interference.
44-yard pass play for Bishop to Smith.
Get a chance to make our own decision here, who may or may not have pushed off. Yeah, he definitely locked him up, grabbed him around the pads, and that's when the flag went down. It was a good call.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalty is declined. Take the results of the play. First down.
Great concentration by Smith, the record setter over his career for Steve Logan at East Carolina. And he has the South set up at the 18-yard line with the clock now rolling down near 7 minutes. Bishop looks Smith's way. Hook and go. Smith in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. With the flag, Troy Smith makes the catch in the end zone, and the flag is offsides defense. Count the points for Smith. So Bishop to Smith twice to increase the South lead to 12.
Now, I talked about the technical things that Bishop needs to work on. This is something he does not need to improve because he's already so good at adapting to tough situations. Protection breaks down. He moves very intelligently to his right, waves his receiver where he wants, and then absolutely makes a perfect throw. Smith brings it down for the touchdown. Great play by Michael Bishop.
Chris Brown has had an adventurous afternoon. This one he sails right through, and it's 27-14. There's never a question about Michael Bishop's arm strength. Yesterday there was a little bit of a breeze, not like today. Practically flat-footed, he was thrown at 60 yards.
He has marvelous arm strength. I've been surprised in watching him at practice because I don't know what I expected, but I had not seen the kind of arm strength from him that he's shown since he's been over here. This is a very nice throw, just a flick of the wrist. Good adjustment by, watch Smith here. He knows exactly where to go, shows his QB where he wants the ball. The ball is absolutely perfectly thrown and caught. Bishop likes this. Bishop likes this. He likes these big old tall receivers. Everybody does. Nice job, man.
Michael Bishop out of Willis, Texas, Blinn Junior College in Kansas State. 9 out of 15 and the touchdown. So they're all smiles over there with a 13-point lead in just under 7 minutes and the win. That may be the biggest factor of all, the fact that the North is going into this gale in the fourth quarter.
And, you know, these people are still here. I have really got to, you really have to admire the people from Maui.
They don't get that much big-time football, and they've treated this all week like their Super Bowl. That one is a touchback through the end zone for Chris Brown. North starts with 6:48 to go. Under 20, the victory dances starting to come out on that south pitch. Everybody's doing the dirty bird.
That's a little bit of the dirty bird there, although Camacho needs to work on his balance. He's going to hurt himself because he almost tilted over at the end. Big guy's got pretty good movement.
Corby Jones back at quarterback for the North. And in position where they've got to throw, the South can tee off, and they get the sack near the 10-yard line.
Alton Weaver, number 95. Brian Conley of Army, number 77, that right tackle. One of the things that's so hard to teach a young offensive tackle is to keep your pads square. And in this case, once again, we'll watch the offensive tackle, the right offensive tackle. You see him right here. He's going to turn his shoulders to the sideline. That allows the defender an inside or an outside rush, and Weaver takes advantage of it.
Big 12 being well represented today. Williams, Bishop, Weaver. Jones, pass incomplete. Intended for Sean Morey of Brown University. He predicted big things for himself in this game.
Well, I kind of put the pressure on him. We were at the banquet the other night, and I said, Sean, you're an unusual guy. You went to Brown University, Ivy League, and the first Brown player to be a 3-time Ivy League, all Ivy League. He was the Ivy League Player of the Year, and I said, you need to show me something so I can talk about you. He said, I will put on a show. Well, he hadn't had many chances. He has had a couple of fist fights on the side. I didn't mention them. So he made sure that I noticed him.
3rd and 16 for Jones, who will escape from pressure if he can. Nope, they've got him back at the 5. Corby Jones sacked for the 2nd time on the series, and for the 2nd time, Alton Weaver involved with an assist from Mark Molnar of Hawaii.
Mark Molnar, a Hawaii player and a Hawaii native. So excited to be in this game, playing hard as he always does. Good pass rush again, and that time the protection was actually pretty good, and Corby didn't trust his protection. Probably took off a little earlier than he needed to.
So Langley from about 8 yards deep in his own end zone. Burley with a fair catch at the 41, 34-yard punt, south by 13, 5:14 remaining.
You know what they say, sauce sells.
Will someone cue the music?
Louie, what are you doing?
My family has been in this swamp
Louie.
for over 5,000 years.
Louie, I'm begging you.
During Prohibition, when the swamp ran dry, my family pulled together. My great-grandfather, the worm master,
Louie, that's enough.
and my grandfather, the fly master,
That's enough, Louie.
gathered up the flies and the worms to be saved and handed down that brilliant tradition to me, Louie.
Oh, Louie, you're begging for a pink slip.
Whether you're working out, working hard, or making changes, one thing is for certain. Centrum has your nutrition needs covered. With Centrum, you benefit from what science is discovering about how vitamins and minerals help maintain health, unlock energy, and strengthen immunity. Centrum, always complete from A to Zinc. And Centrum Kids' great new taste is making a splash with new fruit flavors kids love.
Back in Maui, a 13-point lead for the South All-Stars, and we have the ball on the 40-yard line of the North. One of the members of the North coaching staff, the great Hayden Fry, who says goodbye to college coaching after almost 5 decades. What's next for you?
I'm not for sure, Chris. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I've had a wonderful life, great coaches, great players, great fans, and I guess I'll try to learn how to wet a hook.
Is this a symptom of retirement here? This X Games looking goatee here, yeah?
I'm working hard trying to learn how to relax. I haven't quite reached it yet, but look more like the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy.
Congratulations on a great time. College football will miss you, sir. Yeah. Guys?
Hayden Colonel Sanders Fry. Ball was knocked free and recovered by Brechterfield for the North. So a turnover at the 44-yard line. Brad Scioli knocked it loose. Let's go again down to Chris.
Yeah, Brechterfield is the guy who called the Hula Bowl office guys and said, which team is Ricky Williams on? They told him he's on the South and that he was going to be on the opposite side. He got all excited. He wanted the chance to tackle the Heisman Trophy winner. He took Hayden Fry's advice. He was just telling the defense in the commercial break there, go out and get a turnover. He listens to coach's advice.
Came up big. North gets it back. 44-yard line. Daft back in at quarterback. And that is a diving catch made by our man Sean Morey, whose show has now begun.
Yep, the Sean Morey show is underway. He's finished the fisticuffs, and now he's into the football part. I like this part better. What you think about a guy from Brown University getting to come and play with us? And we were on the phone the other day, a conference call, talking about the draft, and somebody said, well, yeah, he had to play at that level. And I said, yeah, he got stuck with an Ivy League education. Isn't that a shame?
Poor guy. Incomplete, intended for Jeff Noisy. So you got two famous products of Brown football, Sean Morey, Joe Paterno.
Yeah, and I'm sure Sean wouldn't mind being mentioned in the same breath with that guy. In fact, I brought up Joe Pa to him, that Joe was a Brown graduate. Looks like we've had a little fisticuffs and maybe somebody's been ejected down here.
Well, heading out is Walter Fiafia.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Penalties offset. It's second down.
No word about an ejection.
Did you say dejection?
Ejection.
Ejection.
Which would lead to dejection.
He got dejected or ejected. I think he just got dejected because the coach took him out of the game. I think that's why the expression, but the way he looked, I thought they had kicked him out. Hopefully not. I guess he'll go back. He's a good player.
And at last, the return of the sun. Williams trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. With a hold of his leg was Talent Sawyer, having a big second half defensively.
Yeah, he's really played well the second half. He's beating blockers. He's moving his feet, bending his knees, and getting to the football, both on the run and the pass. He's a good player.
Intermittent blowing rain. Wind has been gusting all day, but looks like we may finish the Hula Bowl under sunshiny skies above Maui. Incomplete and almost intercepted by Pearson Prelo as Daniel Jones broke off his pattern at the 20. Don't forget, coming up after the game, Sports Center, Bill Pito, Brian Kenny in the studio, and they will look at a thriller at Madison Square Garden earlier today between Duke and St. John's. The Bulls opening their exhibition, minus Michael. Teams arriving for the Super Bowl in Miami. That's all coming up on Sports Center immediately following the conclusion of the Hula Bowl.
Talk about Talent Sawyer. He just really drilled that time. Another terrific pass rush from Sawyer.
4th and 10. Pass for Baker overthrown. Baker has made a couple of spectacular catches. No chance for that one, and they turn it over on downs with 3:57. Quick break from War Memorial Stadium in Maui and the conclusion of the Hula Bowl coming up.
No, it's not a keyhole. I'm not looking through the doorway at someone. I'm looking through the on-net port of entry to a seamless global network. A network that will change the fortunes of countless companies and the lives of thousands of telecom managers and CIOs. I see them out there right now. They seem rather happy. On-net from MCI WorldCom.
As long as there are Sunday drives in the country and holiday flights home, as long as big cities need bright lights and we never get tired of things that go fast and far and high, the people of Texaco will go to the ends of the earth to find the energy the world needs to keep going.
This is it! We're here!
Texaco, a world of energy.
Don't you just love this job?
Talking to your kids about drugs and alcohol is important, but it's only half the job. The other half is learning how to listen. Talk, listen, stay involved.
Yeah, those South guys posing for the victorious team picture, or so they hope, if they can hang on to this 13-point lead. 3:57 to go. South getting it on downs and just hoping to run out final 4 minutes or so without any further incident.
Yeah, I think that was Cecil's 10th carry of the year. Played 12 or 13 games with Wisconsin. They just don't hand it to Cecil much. They do throw it to him a fair amount, but what a marvelous blocker and leader he is for whatever team he's on at a given moment. This guy Lucky, the tight end that just came in the game, number 89, another one of those Arizona guys, he's got a lot of potential. He's a big 6'6", 270-pound tight end.
Bishop for McGarity, who makes the catch and is gone. They will not catch Wayne McGarity. Very few have in his career at Texas. 55 yards from Bishop.
Rhythm passing, throwing on rhythm. Proper set, proper delivery by the quarterback Bishop. And a typical Wayne McGarity play. That's the kind of thing that the Longhorns fans came to expect. Mark Megna had pressure. Bishop ignored it, stepped up, did his job, and McGarity did his.
Ricky Williams' recommendation that they include his teammate McGarity here in the Hula Bowl, paying big dividends. They have combined for 3 touchdowns for the South.
Yeah, I really believe McGarity is going to play for a long time in the National Football League.
Hall's extra point, good. One more look, Bishop to McGarity.
This is really the defensive weakness of this kind of approach, a 3 deep or a man-free regulation in a game like this. The guy gets right there in what's called the skinny post area, and if he can run this fast, he just runs by everybody. McGarity makes a habit of that. I really like him. He came to Texas as a running back. He still carries the ball as if he's accustomed to that. He knows he's not going to be caught from behind.
Bishop started 1 for 5 for 5 yards, and since then 9 out of 11 for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, I think he's answered some questions. I really do. He's anxious to be a quarterback. He looks like a quarterback. He did not start the day with a proper delivery or footwork, but as the game has gone along, what you want to watch as a pro scout is can the guy adjust and actually improve and correct his mistakes. That's what he's done.
Let's go down to Chris Fowler.
Lots happened since we talked the last time. Nice job.
We're starting to pick it up a little bit, man. Me and Wayne hooked up. K-State, UT hooked up for 6 points.
The Big 12 connection here, Wayne. Nice job.
Oh, thanks, man. You know, he's a great quarterback, man. He just put it in there. All I had to do was take it in and score the touchdown.
It's a nice reward for you. 3 ACL operations, though. You ever doubt you'd ever play at this point?
No, not really. You know, I mean, coming out here and wanting to be the best out here with these guys really drove me to come out here and do the best. So, you know,
Azuma.
My mother always gave me, you know, always the confidence to come out there and keep doing it again, keep pushing it forward, and I'd like to thank her for that.
Congratulations, guys. Nice job.
Here we go.
All right, Chris. 2 former foes in the Big 12 teaming up for becoming a pretty big win for the South All-Stars. Jerry Azuma returned that kick to the 24 with 2:53 to go.
It doesn't seem very long ago at all that I was talking about Lloyd Carr having a lead in this game.
Didn't last long. He had one very briefly. Ryan Ayat back at quarterback for the North. Joe Montgomery of Ohio State on the carry. And our players of the game in the 53rd annual Hula Bowl. Eugene Baker of Kent State, 3 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown for the North. And Ricky Williams, not surprisingly, will get it for the South. 22 carries, 115 yards, 2 scores. They are our Hooters players of the game. Longhorn fans are going to miss the sight of those 2. Game breakers, the likes of which they haven't seen in a long time. Montgomery, about the 30.
Yeah, we talked about Joe Montgomery getting an opportunity to move himself up in the draft. He really hasn't gotten many chances today. He's been given the ball in tough situations. There hasn't been a whole lot of blocking, and I'm not sure that we've learned much about Joe today. It would have been nice to see him with some of those nice holes that the other backs have got, because he certainly is a load. He takes it up in there with authority, but didn't really get much of a chance today.
3rd and 4. With flags down, might have taken too long. Let's see if this is a delay.
Prior to the snap, all start on the defense. 1 yard penalty. Start down.
Boy, the best evidence yet of what the wind has been like today. Down on that referee's mic.
Yeah, Chris said it's really whistling down there on the field. Of course, we experienced it when it was blowing the rain into the booth up here.
At least it's a dry breeze now. We like that a whole lot better.
Your shirt's dried out. Little wrinkled.
Well, the worst day in paradise, still better than the best day just about anywhere else you could go. Ayat is sacked as we near 1 minute to go, and Warwick Holdman of Texas A&M will be credited with the stop.
Yeah, Orlando Ruff also in there. Orlando's a Furman player. Good flexibility. Played 44 in a row prior to his last 2 games. He missed his last 2 because of injury, but he had a great career there at Furman, which is a fine school and has an excellent football program.
Time winding down, near 30 seconds to go. Langley hangs this one up, and the wind will swat it right back down near midfield. Sia Burley with the fair catch, a 34-yarder with 25 seconds.
And Lenny and Marcia Klompus deserve an enormous amount of credit for a marvelous job that they do with this thing. It just wouldn't happen without their energy and promotion, and it's been a privilege for all of us, really, Dave, to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Fun to watch Ricky Williams and all the other All-Stars conclude their college careers here this afternoon on Maui. Mike Price in the aftermath of the traditional Gatorade bath. Well, at least it's in the 70s as opposed to, you know, sometimes you get those and it's in the teens.
Yeah. Did you see Larry Karras in the pregame thing when they won the championship? His guys did it. He turned around and chewed them out. Don't do that.
Bishop with the give to Craig Walendi on what ought to do it.
Yeah, Courtney Ledyard's not through playing now. That's a good thing. Watch these guys play it out to the end. Courtney just made a big hit. Sometimes these games kind of go to mush. That's not happening here.
Now they're going to try and squeeze in one more snap here. Bishop with no time remaining. Doubles back, now fires it deep. And it is incomplete. Broken up, intended for McAllister.
You see who he was throwing it to. McAllister came in on offense and said, throw me the ball.
And with that, we're all done. Again, our final score, 34-14, the South over the North. For Bill Curry, Chris Fowler, and our entire ESPN crew, aloha from the island of Maui. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.